sent his wife on lavish vacations, including travel on a private jet and a super yacht. Thomas didn't disclose those either.
ABC's Terry Moran. Tomorrow is the Kentucky Derby, but the deaths of 4 horses at Churchill Downs is casting a shadow over the races. This is ABC News. The FBI has joined in on the search for answers about a ransomware attack plaguing the city of Dallas.
How many times have you heard it? Do not click on links contained in emails from unknown senders. Cybersecurity specialist Philip Wiley says hackers are well aware that
you could have everything done right, but the right person clicks on the wrong thing, they could have access to anything they want.
In this case, a gang of hackers called Royal has seized control of much of the City of Dallas online presence, including the libraries, animal services, and Dallas City courts. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Adidas says it lost $440 million in sales after it cut ties with the rapper formerly known as Kanye West. In a conference call today, the CEO said the company is left with $1.3 million worth of unsold Yeezy branded footwear. The company parted ways with West after he made several offensive comments on social media and in interviews. They say the company is getting closer to making a decision about what to do with the leftover shoes. I'm Alex Stone, ABC News.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist and ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
Boulder County has made improvements to alert and warning systems in the wake of the Marshall Fire. Officials say there's been a tremendous amount of effort put towards making sure they can warn the community when there's an emergency. That includes updating the software the county uses to send out emergency alerts to make them all go to bocoalert.org. Steve Silberman with the Boulder County Sheriff's Office.
The intent of the BOCO alert is to not confuse people on where their message is coming from, and it gives it a place for a one-stop shop for them to go.
He tells Fox 31 they've also partnered with an app that translates the alerts into more than 100 different languages. Colorado Congressman Ken Buck says he cannot support raising the U.S. debt ceiling without deeper cuts to federal spending. Buck was one of 4 Republican congressmen who voted against raising the debt ceiling this week. Buck says holding the line on the debt ceiling is the only tool Republicans have to force spending cuts. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen.
Several problem spots throughout the Denver Metro to occupy your 9 o'clock hour into downtown. I-25 northbound at 8th Avenue. A crash in the left lane with stop and go back from Santa Fe. About 7 minutes of delayed driving. North of there, I-25 southbound this time before Highway 36 and I-270. Recent accident has been all cleared. We're still seeing slow traffic back from Thornton Parkway. Heading east through the Aurora area, I-225 southbound at Colfax a crash. Slow traffic back from I-70. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies. Another warm one out there today with a high of 75 degrees. Overnight low of 41. The current temperature in Denver is 61 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
DQ presents the sound of summer calling. Hey, it's me, Summer. You gotta get to DQ for the new Summer Blizzard menu, like new peanut butter puppy chow and the return of s'mores. Okay, see ya. Get it in the app. DQ. Happy tastes good.
Inflation is up, the stock market is down, and you're just a few years away from retirement. Learn how to get prepared with Sean O'Keefe and Dan Blair on the Retirement Summit, Saturdays at noon, here on 630 KHOW, and visit GoSummitWealth.com.
Travelport LP in Centennial, Colorado seeks a senior software development engineer. Develop Java-based microservices, collaborate with junior developers on projects, and support various development duties. Requires bachelor's degree or foreign equivalent in computer science or computer information systems or a related field, and 5 years of experience in Java development. Salary range is $140,000 to $145,000 per year. May work remotely. Email resume to Americasbusiness business partners at travelport.com and reference job code number 645-3661.
Got the inflation blues? Then you need Inflation Salvation. Up to 9 chances every weekday to win $1,000. Listen at 5 past the hour on 630 KHOW. Sponsored by Guy Rees.
Brighten your home and save 10% on Benjamin Moore paint by joining the Guy Rees loyalty program. Stop by a store or go to GUIRYS.com to sign up today. Guy Rees, your neighborhood paint store since 1899.
Denver's talk station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bank. That's bank. Enter it now at KHOW.com. Inflation Salvation on 630 KHOW. And you could win $5,000 now by listening to 630 KHOW on the free iHeartRadio app.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK is the number. You can get right through 303-713-8255. Ideal Home Loans still making home loans with the interest rate guarantee. So when rates go down, they refinance you free of charge. 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. Okay, now let's talk. We got a lot to talk about. I'm going to say today is car day. We have Jeff Vick with us from Kimmer Transmission, Kevin Calkin from Sheridan Auto Tech, two of our experts that are on pretty regularly. And then we have Advanced Transmission Center on as a guest from the referral list. And this is Tom. Tom, how do I pronounce your first name so I don't slaughter it, sir?
Sure, it's Shishu.
Shishu. Okay. Tom, how long you been in the transmission business?
You know, I've been in the transmission and automotive industry for a little over 5 years now.
Okay. And what's different about Advanced?
Well, you know, we're the only AAA approved transmission shop in the state. We, you know, like many others, and some of our competitors, we stay focused on, you know, being a specialist. I think a lot of the transmission shops in particular think that doing brakes and doing general automotive is easy, so they try to transition that way. But ourselves and just a few competitors of ours, including, I believe, Jeff and the Kimmer team, you know, maintain ourselves as specialists.
Yeah, yeah. And Jeff will do other work for his regular customers who do transmission stuff, but you're right about that. Now, I want to ask you something, Tom. On the transmission business, do you do your in-house building?
Absolutely. I mean, we have a hybrid approach where we are distributors for a national remanufactured company.
Yeah.
But at the same time, part of the reason why is there's been such an explosion on the number of units and the complexity of them that we want to make sure that we have the opportunity to do remanufactured units as well as in-house built units. So we have 4 people that can build in-house at our couple locations.
Okay, and if you're on our YouTube, you'll see in the studio, it's pretty crowded. We have Suze is there, the real boss, and then, of course, Mark is there tagging along with Suze. And they're here to help as well. Now, we're talking to this guy about his girlfriend yesterday, and I thought we should get him back on to see if there's anything we could do about it. But I'm not sure there is. Look, he met a woman on Facebook, reconnected after years. She came out here to spend a few days with him. They went to the mountains. They had a fight. Then his cell phone's missing, or excuse me, his laptop's missing, his keys, and his Bluetooth speaker. And she says, I didn't take them. So basically, that's where it is. So she's just denying it. How did you get home from the mountains if she took your keys, Reyes?
Well, I have my car with me, so I hid my car keys, so I was able to get back. My truck keys, I had them with me.
What keys did she take? Your home keys?
No, it has my home key and my SUV keys. So I call it my truck, but it's just my SUV.
What were you hoping we could do? You want us to chase her down, grab the stuff? What are we doing here?
No, I just wanted to ask you for advice. Like, should I make a police report?
Yes. Yes. And if she has keys to your place, you got to change the locks. I mean, if this woman gets upset and, I don't know what you did. I'm only hearing one side of the story. But if she's crazy enough to leave and grab your stuff, you got to protect yourself. But she's denying taking the laptop. You got to protect your personal information as best you can. I'm hoping that you had it stored on the cloud where it should be along with your computer.
Yeah, if you got bank account info or anything on that thing, man, you better really watch it.
Yeah. And so really what you do now, Reyes, you can call the police and make a report. She's going to deny everything. It's going to be he said, she said. Basically, you got to stay away from this woman if she's poison or if you're the poison one, or if it's a poison combination. Like I said, I don't know what happened, but man, this is weird. You reconnect, you go to the mountains, and then she's so upset she leaves. My goodness.
Yeah, what happened? Were you putting the moves on her and she didn't like it?
Well,
or what?
she came out to see him. I mean, they did have a romantic interest with each other.
Yeah, we had a
but what happened right before she left? I mean, I'd just like to know. No
They
one
were
knows
walking.
who you are.
They were walking in one of the towns, and then you had an argument, right, Reyes?
Yes, that's correct.
What kind of argument?
And then,
was it political? Is it Trump's fault?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not. No, we were just talking, and there's always we were talking about, something like even that doesn't even matter. Like we were talking about the amount of water on the reservoir, and she was saying that it was too low, and I said, yeah, it's low, but maybe will be more defrosting.
Okay, she was talking about the water table, and let me guess, you got onto the topic of climate change, and you guys, so it's climate change's fault.
Well, it's not climate change. It's the way she reacts.
It's not Trump. It's not climate change. Okay. I thought I had the top two reasons for all arguments. Okay. Was it about trans athletes?
Well, not prior to that, the two occasions that I have gone to visit her in Brooklyn, she has had sometimes kind of the same reactions. All of a sudden, she kind of snaps.
That should have taught you something, bro. That should have taught you something. Somebody told me one time I should have learned my lesson when I saw a woman take her giant SUV and back over Mark's car.
Yep. And there was a few signs right there that you overlooked.
And wrecked his car. Oh, God. Anyway, that's a long story. Anyway, so Reyes, really, I don't want to make light of your situation, but you got to do defensive moves more than anything. Seriously, 303-713-TALK. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Now, if you want a private eye, we can refer you to some private detectives. Some listen to the show. Adam, you have a question on a red light ticket you held yesterday, I believe. Adam, what's going on with you?
Yep. So, in the past, I've heard that through the state of Colorado, red light cameras are no longer enforceable. Just wanted to get some information.
Not true.
Or what you guys.
Here's what it is.
Not true.
Here's what it is. It's nothing more than it's an accusation. It is not official. It's not even as official as a police officer, and here's why. When you get a ticket with a police officer, the police officer has the probable cause and writes you a ticket. On that ticket, on the ticket itself, is your summons to appear. Okay?
Yep.
Now, that is an accusation, yes, but it's from a police officer, and it's a summons to appear. So you have to handle it, or you get contempt of court, an arrest citation, all of that. With a mail-in ticket, that is a third party contracted with the state of Colorado to put up a red light ticket or a traffic ticket and to accuse you of violating the law. Once you are accused, you then can ignore it. Okay? There's no official capacity to make you do anything, period. Now, if you ignore, or you could pay it, either one, okay? Now, if you ignore it, there's two possibilities. In some jurisdictions, although it's not a lot, I'm not sure which ones, they do a registered or some kind of certified mail, but if you don't pick it up, you're not served, okay? You're just not served. Sometimes they allow service that way. Most of the time they don't. They have to serve you in person. Once you are served, you then have to deal with it, okay? You either show up or you negotiate or something. That is the truth about a red light ticket. When they say it can't be enforced, what they mean is the red light ticket alone cannot assess a fine and be automatic. It can't be, okay? It's an accusation. Now, of all the times I've gotten, and I don't run red lights and stuff, but I'm talking about little things here and there, a little speeding or a little stuff. When I've gotten tickets, I've been served once out of, I'm not going to say, but I've been served once and I had to deal with it. The others I've ignored.
Okay.
I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you that's the reality of the situation. It is an accusation. 303-713-TALK. WaterPros.net for the best water systems at the lowest prices, and I mean best quality. PaulTheWaterman.com will talk to you about any water system you want, whether softening or filter at your kitchen sink or whatever sink you want. 303-862-5554. And I mean the quality is there, and they're about a third of the cost, sometimes a quarter of the cost of plumbers. 303-862-5554.
Hi, Dan Cicchini, Done Right Windows and Doors.
Quick to these.
Old, drafty windows and doors.
Can away.
Call us for details on our spectacular financing specials. 800-362-8370 or drhi.com to set up your rock-solid quote.
You know, I love when people are looking for deals, they listen to this show because we have a Made in the Shade with window coverings, whether they shades, blinds, curtains, drapes, shutters on the outside of the house, any kind of treatments, interior, exterior. Made in the Shade will do it. They measure and estimate for free. They have a design consultant to help you mix it into your home and interior environment, and they have an in-house crew to install it and guarantee it, along with the manufacturer's guarantees for all the major brands. 720-458-6566. That's 720-458-6566. Look for Made in the Shade at referralist.com. Hey, you know, if you go to the referral list, you're going to find a lot of people, including John Fuller. He is our expert here on the show, and we rely on him a lot to give us accurate information when it comes to personal injury. You know what? You're inundated by people telling you what they can do for you with personal injury. Here's the bottom line. I have personally witnessed what John Fuller can do for people. And we have referred many people to him. He takes only the number of cases he works personally. He oversees each and every case and handles them personally. You get his personal cell phone number. He also will communicate with you regularly. And that's the number one complaint is lack of communication. He doesn't have call centers. He doesn't have a bunch of attorneys. It's him and you. And he will work with you. John Fuller, Fuller Law. Look for him at referralist.com, myaccidentlawyer.co. And you call him, and you will notice the difference. John Fuller, and that's 303-597-4500.
Yep. Troubleshooter show. Did you want to talk to Tom and the gang?
Yeah, no, it's basically running the transmission business and the general run business.
Oh yeah, yeah,
two
yeah.
completely different businesses.
Hi, is
Are
this
there
Michael?
commonalities? Are there technicians? Sure, but the business strategy, the model, the price.
Oh, okay, no problem.
man,
My name's Kelly. I'm calling from the Tom Martino Troubleshooter Show, and he sent us out an inquiry regarding some issues that he's having.
I keep thinking about, do I want to go one direction or both? Right now I'm going both. But,
Okay, hang on 1 second for me.
even if you're just in one industry.
Good morning. Thanks so much for calling the Troubleshooter Show. How can I help you?
Yeah. That's what
For what day? When is it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I, Ted.
It was Brian and me and a few others who tried to convince me to get reset that hour-long conversation.
Well, you know, part of what
Oh, yeah, this is the show. This is the show. So do you want to call him on his cell? Oh.
When you look at GP per hour, an entire if you really do GP per hour.
All right. I don't have Ernie's information on hand right now.
Oh, is it, are you talking to Ted?
Who's that?
Is Kachina talking to Ted? Hi, Ted.
Oh, let's see. Let's see if
We don't need Ernie on the phone to give an update. We can just use Ted if that's who she's talking to.
Ernie on the phone
Okay.
to give an update. We just need
yes.
Ted.
Hang on for me, Ted.
Yeah, that's all. Good.
Okay.
Thanks. We just need him to just say he hooked up with him so we can tell people we're working on it.
they
Well, that's really inappropriate. We shouldn't have that.
Wait, what? What am I doing? Okay.
Like 100 sets or something.
Yeah, there's enough tire guys out there that you can get pretty quick turnaround. And so you look at Eagle's website now, and they're not Eagle.
Hey, Ted, did you have a specific phone number that you want to give out
They've really moved them.
for your services?
And I think they're Colorado Springs now.
And
Goodyear.
We did.
okay, and what's
I
the
made a
name
lot
of
of
the company that you work for?
I wouldn't make it till.
It's just him doing it as a friend.
Worth of tires from Goodyear. I get waterfall back of 15-20%. That
Mhm.
was my tire profit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
mean,
sell them at
They
cost.
do the same.
Okay, what's your cell?
That's the right now. It's all about the kickback at the end.
It's every bit of it.
Yeah.
Same with cars now.
And the credit cards. They're
Okay,
peddling all the
cool.
credit card deals.
All right, I have you in. Hang on for a
We
second.
used to have shit back then. We'd have
Good morning. Thanks so much for calling the Tom Martino Troubleshooter Show. How can I help you?
Everybody's pushing. You know, because Synchrony does that.
Mhm.
6 months, no interest.
That's who does Goodyear.
Yeah.
And then our national account base. So my old store at Peoria,
Yeah.
out of 100,000 a month, 80,000 was national account. So we're talking State Patrol, Terminex, Comcast. I mean,
Okay,
that to me.
hang on for
that's
me 1 second, sir.
telling
Okay,
the
I'll come
people
right
that
back
aren't
to you.
paying for it. Trying to sell a
Good
great
morning.
job
Thanks so
on
much for calling the
Comcast.
Tom Martino Troubleshooter Show. How can I help you?
Great job or not, the driver could give a shit. You're not trying to convince someone to spend their money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the moral hazard of it all. If it's not yours, you're ready to spend it all day.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, but that's why we built up that business.
Traffic department's
Fuck around.
overpacking these brakes. God damn it.
State Patrol was a really good account. The guy I sold it to,
All right, here
Blue
we go.
Daddy, Blue Comcast.
Go to GUIRYS.com to sign up today. Guyries, your neighborhood paint store since 1899.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Ask yourself a question. The wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas is under fire, and therefore he is, and the media is all over it. But what about Hunter Biden? We hear nothing. Why is that? I just wonder. Wouldn't it be nice if we could get news that truly covers all news? I'm not suggesting they not cover anything. I'm suggesting they cover all of it equally, but it will never happen. Anyway, let's talk to, well, we did have a car question. I guess he hung up. Okay, shame on him. We have Ted here, though, I want to get to. Ted is a buddy. We call him iTed, and he's a technical freak, geek, nerd. And I knew him since he was 14 years old. And Ernie called the other day saying, I have a Magic Jack phone, and I just got a new Magic Jack. I like landlines, and Magic Jack is a VoIP, but it's a landline. It mimics a landline. My old VoIP, my old Magic Jack used to turn over to my cell phone and forward it to me if I'm outside or something, and it rings more than 3 or 4 times. That rollover feature is easily configured through an app, but Ernie knows nothing about it. So Ted is one of our people we sometimes ask to help people with technical issues. So Ted, you hooked up with Ernie and you're going to go over there?
Yep, that's right, Tom. I am going to be going over there tomorrow to have a look and see if I can't get this Magic Jack forwarding calls to his cell. I can't imagine it'll be too difficult to do.
No, I think it's all done on an app, and he does not have the app.
Yeah, so yeah, that should be pretty simple. Hopefully he doesn't have a lost account username or password. That might make it a little more difficult, but either way, I'm sure we'll get it figured out.
Okay.
But I am more than happy to go over and help out with that.
We appreciate that, Ted. What's new in the?
It's my pleasure.
What's
Thank
new?
you.
What's new in the tech world?
Well, the tech world is something that, honestly, I haven't been paying as close of attention to lately because I've been working on cars for the last year and a half or so.
So you're switching. You switched over to cars. Wow.
Yep.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it was. I do like it. I do like it, and working on Mercedes-Benz is certainly an interesting challenge. So.
Are you getting certified?
Oh yeah. I've got a number of certifications. One of them is the EPA certification for AC systems, so HVAC stuff and whatnot.
Okay. All right.
So.
Well, that's cool.
But
Ted,
anyway.
so thank you for doing this. Let us know how it goes, okay? We appreciate it.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
to help out anywhere I can.
All right. And Ted will help, and he's an Apple expert as well. That's why we jokingly call him iTed. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk to Deborah. Deborah, what's going on with Les Schwab?
Hi, I have my car repaired with Les Schwab, and
Wait.
So anyway,
Les Schwab. Okay,
Uh-huh.
Why am I thinking investment firm? I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Charles Schwab, the other Schwab. Okay, his brother Les did the car business. Hey, what's going on?
Well, I had them fix my car because I was making a lot of noise on the right side, and then so they did, put some stuff in, and then
What did they say was wrong with it?
noise.
Noise on the left side. What did they say was wrong with it?
It would be the right side.
Oh, right side. What did they
said
say
it
was wrong with the right side?
Excel strut.
What?
A strut.
Oh, a strut. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Mhm. For two of them.
And they
then,
changed. So they did two front struts.
Yeah, that's what they say
Okay.
on the paper I have here.
Got it. Well, so what's going on now?
And then some links and some other things, okay? So my car, every time I bought it, my car was coming back like worse than what it was.
How many
when I took it
times?
to them.
How many times total did you go to Les Schwab?
I went 3 times, but they only worked on my car twice.
Okay,
The
so
same time I
you
did.
kept going back for the same thing?
Yes.
Okay, and what was the same thing? What was it still noisy?
Yeah, it was the struts, and it was like pulling a lot to maybe one side, the right or the left. I can't remember.
Okay, I got
exactly
it.
which
So
way.
still noise and pulling. So you went back. So where do you stand today?
Well, what I did, I have a Ford, so I took it to the Ford company, and they gave me like an evaluation or whatever you call it.
Yes.
And it happens to be the links and the struts and the sway bars.
So they said it
Some of
needed.
the-
They said it needed way more than what Les Schwab did.
Yeah, and actually the parts that they put on Les Schwab were not good.
They said the Les Schwab part. Well, hold on. Did they say they were not good, or did they use the words they were not OEM or factory authorized or something like that? Is that what they said? Because, a lot of dealers are going to tell you that. That doesn't necessarily mean they're not good. Did they say they were not good and not meant for that car, or what?
I'm looking for the exact words on my paperwork.
Okay, in general,
after
how
one
much
gets
is it going to
started.
cost you? How much is it going to cost you to fix the car at the dealer?
Well, I already went to the dealer and
How
had my
much?
car fixed, and it cost me $2,389.
God, you're like a moving target.
Okay, now hold on. Here's what I want to tell you, Deborah.
Exactly.
Deborah, here's what I want to tell you. How much did Schwab charge you?
Altogether about $1,200.
That's what Schwab charged you. Here's what I want to tell you, okay? Schwab did not cause that damage to your car, and they don't owe you, and I hope you understand, they don't owe you $3,000. The only thing they would owe you is if they did a defective job the first time, not missing stuff. If a car repair shop misses something, but they don't charge you for it, they've not done anything wrong except exhibited incompetence. Unless that incompetence causes further damage, they're not responsible to you. But I doubt that Les Schwab caused the damage. I'm suspecting they just did not know how to fix it. So if the struts were really defective, did you get them back, the defective struts?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well
I
then there's nothing you can do. If these struts were really defective, then the Ford dealer should have given them to you so you could go to Les Schwab and get your money back for that job. However, I suspect the struts were not bad. I suspect the Ford dealer saw that you're driving a Ford and they want to replace everything with OEM and automatically started from scratch, and I think you got taken by both. I suspect they could have probably worked with the struts you already had and just added to it the other repairs. That's my gut feeling. Now, I might be wrong, but here's the deal. How many miles on this car? On what kind is it?
It's a 2009 Ford Focus.
A 2009. Okay, so we're talking about a 10, 11, 12-year-old car. How many miles on it?
104.
Yeah, I doubt they did anything wrong. What do you want right now? What were you asking for?
Well, I want them to give me back my money on the parts that they put in.
You know what? I agree. If they put in defective parts, they should give you your money back. But how are you going to prove it now that the dealer... Can you go back to the dealer and get those parts?
I don't know. I have to see.
Okay, but that's what we have to see. Guys, I want you to weigh in on this, okay? Kevin, I want to ask you something. Isn't it likely a car dealer will look at struts, and if they're not OEM or if they're not original from them, they're going to say they're bad?
No, you're absolutely right. I've had them look at cars we worked on and told us we put the wrong parts on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that they were defective.
So I'm telling you that unless you have those parts, Deborah, you're out of luck.
And they should have known better to send them with you as well.
Yeah, they should have. If they said these parts are bad, I agree you should get your $1,200 back. Now call that dealer and ask them if they have them somewhere. How long ago was this repair?
Just like April 17th.
No, they're not going to have them. Ask the dealer if any of the techs would testify for you in small claims court. I'm not kidding, by the way. I'm not kidding. If
but
they
what would that matter? She could have brought him back to them to have it done under warranty or something.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But she said she went back three times.
Yeah,
I don't blame her. Look, if the parts were bad, you get your money back. I don't think they were. I simply think that Les Schwab did not know how to fix it. They didn't go far enough. This is an age-old problem with repair shops. We have many people, let's say, who spend $1,000 at a repair shop. Then they go to another repair shop who fixes it for another $2,000. So the total was the total was $3,000. Here's the question: did the first shop screw them, or did the first shop simply not go far enough? That's the age-old question. If a first shop doesn't find everything, but they don't charge you for it, unless it causes further damage, they're not responsible to you. Right now, we're in the dark, Deborah, and I want you to know why. It's not because we don't want to help you. It's because you right now have nothing to show that they did anything wrong. 303-713-8255, 888heating.com for your air conditioner. And if you need a new one right now, they'll do a free evaluation, and they guarantee the lowest price for the same equipment. They have all the modern new names. That's 888heating.com, 303-770-2776.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Truth with Lisa Booth podcast.
A couple slowdowns to occupy your 10 o'clock hour into downtown. I-25 northbound at 8th Avenue, a crash blocking 2 left lanes with stop-and-go traffic back from University, about 5 minutes of delayed driving into downtown. Southeast of there, I-225 southbound at DTC Boulevard, a crash with stop-and-go from Parker. Otherwise, a pretty standard drive throughout the Denver Metro for that 10 o'clock hour. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies out there today, highs in the mid-70s, overnight low of 41 degrees. Tomorrow, a little bit cooler, high of 71, partly cloudy again. The current temperature in Denver is 66 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 K-House.
Bud Light recently came under fire for partnering with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney. Will Hill, the Executive Director of Consumers Research, joins me on The Truth with Lisa Booth. And listen to The Truth with Lisa Booth every Monday and Thursday, but you can listen throughout the week on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to Car Day. We call it Car Day because we talk about motor vehicles, and one of those motor vehicles, or that category, includes recreational vehicles, RVs. I jokingly call RVs real vacations because they're so good. You make your own plans, your own time, and CentryRV.com has the best selection, the best prices, the best maintenance at brand new facility. Go see them at exit 240 and I-25. That's Longmont turnoff on Frontage Road. That's CentryRV.com, 303-453-1111. If you are looking for advice on family law, you can get free advice all day long by contacting harrisfamilylaw.com, then put a / there, and webinars. What that will do is give you access, free access to valuable webinar information recorded and archived for you on a number of topics for family law. They have new ones too, and you can find out about them right there, harrisfamilylaw.com / webinars.
Sometimes does that mean there's a border problem? No. Well, we're sending military, so that seems like a problem. You don't. Now, not that that wouldn't help at Walmart in San Francisco, but still. So I don't know if that helps at all. That's as much as I know without knowing real details.
The warehouses for Nissan, for Subaru, for Honda, they are actually manufacturers. So they have a presence. You can walk right into the Nissan warehouse and it's the employees.
Just that it's kind of spiraled.
Yep.
So
there's that issue.
Dun 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 dun.
You got it, man. Good luck. Have a good weekend, man.
Yeah, and you got to be careful about that.
What the hell was
Somebody
that?
wanted to know what Title 40.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh, seriously?
Huh?
Why is he calling Troubleshooter?
Because Tom knows everything.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Who's calling Troubleshooter?
Somebody wanted to know what
Title 42 was.
Oh.
That's what they're hitting you with.
What?
Yep, they're saying that it's tampering with emissions.
Well, Kelly, I know that you are a fan of the genre.
Title
not
42
an
is
employee.
immigration.
Yep. But that when you do get this job, yes, you are an information booth.
Because it's too busy and it's too hard to unit.
Yeah, because I mean, I get calls here. You know, what time are the Rockies on? You just have to. You either have to know or look it up or figure it out, because we are an information.
Wow, so you got to be careful.
Oh my God!
So
that's
don't be
awesome.
shocked.
Yeah, we don't get into
So my kid and his girlfriend shacked up, moved in together. So for years and years and years and years and years, we've drilled into our kids the responsibility of credit and all of this stuff and everything.
We do most of it in the house.
So
okay.
he's coming up. They're both actually coming up for Haley's graduation at the end of the month.
You get the Nissans and they have the discs with them.
And
they can't do them. So I use Rob at Colorado Diagnostic Equipment. Robert Brago.
Brago, yeah. We use Brago at our shop on the east side of town. But Shane will come. He takes care of us.
That's cool. Yeah.
At some point we'll bring it in house, but when you have guys that take care of you, then.
There used to be a guy that was running around. I don't know if he's still there. Dana was what was the name of his company? He got so busy you could never get a hold of him. Yeah, I know Jim over at Road.
That's Rob a little. Rob sometimes gets busy.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get a hold of.
But most of it we're able to do in house. And then heck, anymore, you know, if you got to get a Tecum, most of them you can get pre-programmed. You don't even have to do anything with that. Right. Same thing with the RE5s for the Nissan.
Yeah, I was surprised because for years there, every time we did them, we just knew program it.
Yeah,
and
they
now,
take something forever.
And now, because it takes half an hour just to get into the Nissan OBD. But now, they're coming programmed.
If you're getting them through Transtar or whatnot, yes.
Yeah.
If you're getting
a dealer, you still.
You have to still program it. But quite frankly, they're cheaper coming through Transtar than they are from the dealer. But see, they used to come pre-programmed originally, and then all of a sudden one day, Nissan actually recalled all of the valve bodies, and all they did was swipe them. That's all they did, and then they returned them back to the dealers, and then they still charged you the same amount, but now you had to take it into Nissan. It was like a year and a half that you had no choice but to take it to Nissan. Nobody could program the damn things.
I remember that was such a pain to did we tow it there? Was that a no drive or did it drive?
Yeah, no, it was a no
You had
drive.
to tow them there.
Yeah. And but
Yeah, because if they see you
Kids
driving,
credit
they're
card.
trying to try.
30 KHOW. Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere. Let's get to the phones and figure out what we... Hey, George, you have a comment on red light cameras we talked about before. I talked about it being an accusation unless you're personally served. There's no teeth. And then it becomes a judgment only if they prove their case. It's like any other ticket. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I have a comment on the red light and then a quick update on Passport. So my wife and I, we drive safely. We're not going past red lights, ever really. But apparently, sometime recently, my wife probably slipped through a red light at the very end. You know how those cameras work. In any case, she got a ticket. But the quirky thing is, her new car, and she has a new 22, is registered in my name. So I'm technically the owner. And my car, my 2023 car that I drive, is registered in her name. So the tickets, when the red light ticket, when it comes to me, but it has her picture. So that's not going anywhere because I would have to identify her.
Right.
So that's the quirkiness of that thing.
Right.
For whatever.
And they can't force you.
Do you have to identify your spouse?
They don't have to. No, you cannot be forced. Nope. Now, if there was a serious crime, and they subpoenaed you and said, who is this person? I mean, technically, or do you know this person? You can't lie if there was a serious investigation underway. But under normal circumstances, when they say do this or do that, you don't have to do it at all.
Right.
Tell them to go sit on
Here's
it.
the Passport update. So I was the one, who called in when you were going through that struggle, the application.
Yes, I know, and you were having the same problem.
Right. So I just came back. I'm in Colorado Springs now. I just completed my application, and they are wonderful down here. I would advise anybody going through the struggle, just drive down to Colorado Springs. It's a walk-in, but just get there early, maybe 8:30 or so in the morning, and you'll go in, basically right away at 9 o'clock when they open. No big deal. They're excellent there. But here's the interesting thing. When I've completed the application online, just the form, not submitting it online, you fill it all out, and I review the data, and it was all accurate. I printed out my review sheet, and then I printed the application so I could hand it to the people in Colorado Springs.
Okay,
Well,
I did mine too. I printed mine out, and I filled it out, except for the part that said they had to fill it out.
Right. Correct. But here's the interesting thing. The system apparently changed my mother's maiden name back to her married name, and also transposed two numbers in the emergency contact phone number. And I have proof of that because I printed out the review page. And the clerk there said, I'm not the only one where that's happened to. She's seen it over and over again where people are saying, I filled that out right, and yet here it is, it changed it, particularly with the name. But here I had right in front of me the review page, and I printed it out, and I did it accurately. So just making people aware that the State Department system, obviously that's not the post office, they don't run that, the State Department system form for whatever.
Well, anyway, did you get your passport?
Well, that's 13 weeks down the road. I filled out.
Oh, so you did not pay for the expedited service then?
No, I'm not running on a trip. It didn't matter. So,
okay,
I went down there. I just filled out the paperwork, handed it in, and the gods have control over it.
Got it.
Yeah. So anyway.
Thank you.
I assume I missed your update. I assume yours went smoothly.
I went out to Lyman. He says he does about 30 a month from people driving there from
Denver, because they don't have much call for it in Lyman. So you can get right in, you make an appointment, and then you can pay for the expedited service. Now, the government expedited service takes about 7 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. And then if you go with a letter of authorization from an expediter, they will seal up a package and give it to you that you can then send to an expediter, and those expediters can do it inside of a week if you pay $600. But if you pay just the normal expedited fee to the government, which is about $60 plus shipping plus this plus that, it comes about to about $250. Then you get it 6 to 8 weeks. So that's the story with that. So I went with the government expedited one. I did not take the packet with me to ship it to an expediter. I could have done that only if I had, before you do that, before you go to a passport office to get this packet to send to an expediter, that expediter must be approved, and they must give you a letter of authorization saying that they accept, that they will do it for you. And that's sealed. It's really weird the way it works. It's a sealed situation. They don't just give you the application to take with you. It's a sealed packet that you ship to the expediter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
A couple slowdowns to occupy your 10 o'clock hour into downtown. I-25 northbound at 8th Avenue, a crash blocking 2 left lanes with stop-and-go traffic back from University, about 5 minutes of delayed driving into downtown. Southeast of there, I-225 southbound at DTC Boulevard, a crash with stop-and-go from Parker. Otherwise, a pretty standard drive throughout the Denver Metro for that 10 o'clock hour. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies out there today, highs in the mid-70s, overnight low of 41 degrees. Tomorrow, a little bit cooler, high of 71, partly cloudy again. The current temperature in Denver is 66 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
This week on Red Pilled America, should artificial intelligence be stopped? To find the answer, we speak to an AI expert who tells us where AI is going. Listen to Red Pilled America on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get podcasts. That's Red Pilled America.
I love talking about great deals. Man, I'm telling you, when it comes to water heaters, you will not get a better deal than EuroPlumbingColorado.net. That is just a fact. Now, here's the deal. They'll do a 40-gallon tank fully installed with the old one taken out and hauled away, new supply lines for the water, and a flex line for gas, and that will all be for $12.99. If you do a 50-gallon, it's $13.99. The cheapest ever. You can't even do it yourself because you got to hire people to get the electricity and all that for certain things, or the gas hooked up. Can't do it, really, not legally. And listen to this. No matter what size you want, they do the best deal. They guarantee it. No matter what size or what kind. 303-668-6844. 668-6844, EuroPlumbingColorado.net. Now, let's talk about another great deal, and I love it. If you're looking for a garage floor coating or your patio pool decks, your walkways, where you want it to look beautiful in a variety of colors, it's called polyaspartic coating, and it is wonderful, guaranteed for life, guaranteed lowest price, and never any money up front. Do you beat it? No, you don't. GarageKings.com, 720-252-0370. 720-252-0370, GarageKings.com. If you're selling jewelry, old jewelry, antique jewelry, vintage jewelry, or junk, with the junk, DavidEllisJewelry.com will weigh it and pay it on the spot, 3rd and Clayton in Cherry Creek. Now, if you have something of more value, he'll give you a fair price. It's better than dealing with someone on social media you've never met before and you meet him in a parking lot. How dangerous is that? Or you mail it out to someone you've never seen. No, DavidEllisJewelry.com, a name we've trusted for 40 years. 3rd and Clayton, look for the black awning, 303-322-8779.
Do you? Oh, sorry. 390.
Okay, still.
And I was like,
how can you possibly tell that?
Yeah, exactly. First off, there was metal in the pan. It was burned. You know, it was neutralizing. Okay, so we did have a transfer case issue in addition to the transmission, right?
Yeah, and I didn't mean to be snotty about, well, it's not right here, I'll get it.
Well, no, I didn't mean to be like, I want it now.
Well,
I noticed you didn't tell me that I'm on 20 yet, because you're pushing the micro down. So
if I can find a source to go get some OE units that we might not build.
I put it in the show notes. I told her before that I wanted to do it. It calls her light now, so she knows to play the whole. Okay. All right. You want to give her a call soon? Yeah. Okay. I'll email her.
I had one of my top guys out for so yeah, most company policy is defined by when you get bit in the butt.
And what company was that?
We've had less issues with LKQ's used parts than we had their rebuild.
Yeah, fair enough. You guys doing 8 speeds yet? Building 8 speeds?
We've done a couple.
Yeah. There's the Dodge 8-speed. We're looking to start building that. It doesn't. We tore one down. It didn't seem very difficult at all. Found there's nothing local we found in terms of parts. We went to LA. Yeah, we went to
Ericsson.
Which one?
Ericsson?
No, it wasn't a ZF unit. It was a 9-speed. I forgot what it was. It was some 8-speed. I thought it was a Dodge Chrysler unit. But we're just starting to toy with it. We haven't done much at all on the 8-speed side.
Yeah, we've done a couple. So biggest thing on the ZF design is updating the freaking planet, not really split them damn things out. And then using the Mobile One black label is crucial. Otherwise, it would almost guarantee chatter compliance.
Really? I know. What was it?
No.
Was it the GM unit?
Shit.
The 6 or the 8 speeds where they respec the fluid 3 times, and it was Mobile One blue, Mobile One black, Mobile One something. I don't know.
That's where a lot of guys just dump in some posi additive or.
Does additive wrestle shatter?
That and they'll sometimes double down with the shutter stuff.
The shutter stuff's magic.
Especially for the Fords, 6 F-35s and the escapes and whatnot. I got a lady that was quoted for a training 5 years ago. She comes in once a year, we do a service, have some shutter stop, she's still going. Yeah, it will fail, we know that.
Yep.
But I bought you 5 years out of this thing so far.
Okay, no problem. Thanks for calling. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
The time for the transmission, the cost for the transmission replacement probably doubled at that time.
Yeah, I've told you. The brother-in-law said high maintenance squat waffles. It's true.
But seriously, why wouldn't you go straight to the source?
So you're not a referral list
Escape,
consumer.
head gasket escape issue.
Heart radio station. Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Michael's got a question on concealed carry insurance, which I've never heard of before. Michael, go ahead, sir. What's happening?
Well, I was listening to your station, Michael Brown, right before you.
Right.
And he got into a little conversation on that. He says, you need that. If you have concealed carry and some cretin, trying to harm your family and you have to pull out your concealed weapon to defend yourself or your loved ones, that's when you need concealed weapon carry insurance.
I don't doubt it. I never heard of it, though. So where did he say you find it?
Being my daughter's working on hers, my wife wants to get hers. I went to your website. Hopefully, it would be on your referral list somewhere. If somebody's good, who's available.
You know what? Can we call? We're going to call our insurance expert. And
but it has to be. These attorneys have set up their own little plans, and I understand these offices, they're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because at 3 in the morning.
Sounds like some prepaid legal crap to me.
Well, like USCCA is probably the biggest, and then UCW, Pew Pew Tactical.
Right, okay.
Listen, I don't know, but I would like to call Compass to see if there is any basic insurance for that. That would be a normal call to make. Let's just.
Why wouldn't just if it happens in your home? Why wouldn't liability insurance kick in?
Well, that's what I want. That's what I want to ask our experts and see. It could be.
You're still potentially going to be, even if it looks like it is a clear-cut case of self-defense.
Sure.
The officer on scene doesn't necessarily get to make that decision. It's still going to go in front of the prosecutor.
No. So, what I'm saying though, Jeff, is like, let's say it wasn't in your house, but you were walking through a grocery store and whatever happened. I mean, what does it cover?
It is going to give you automatic legal defense.
But
so
Jeff,
even if you
where do you buy it? Where do you buy it,
through,
Jeff? Where do you buy
You can get online and go through USCCA. You can go to UCW. You can go to Pew Pew Tactical. There's a lot of them out there.
And how do you know about
it? It only covers you in certain circumstances?
It only covers you in case you have had to use your firearm in case of self-defense.
Okay, if you're claiming self-defense.
If you were claiming self-defense. You have an automatic legal team right on the spot.
Do you have that insurance, Jeff?
Yes.
You absolutely have it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Then he knows about it. What about regular homeowners?
As far as whether or not it protects you?
Yeah.
I don't actually know. I know at least in liability for the shop and whatnot, they don't want you having it in the shop. They will flat out tell you that they're not going to come to your aid.
Okay, so bottom line, what you're saying is the basically the one you want is called what? Tell this guy exactly where to find it.
You're looking for concealed carry insurance. There's multiple companies. Shop them, see who you like, and then go from there. A quick Google search pulls up multiple ones.
Did you get that, caller?
And I went to the referral list, came up blank.
We don't have any there. We don't know of any there. I mean, I wish we did,
it's a
but we don't.
specialized insurance.
We don't. We just don't have any there. But what I'm saying to you is that Jeff would know because he has it and he uses it. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Deborah, you have an issue with Frontier. What's going on, Deborah?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Deborah. What's happening?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What's happening?
Thanks for taking my call. I wanted to tell you about an experience I had with Frontier.
And does it have to do with carry-on?
Yes.
No. Okay.
Actually, it's a personal item.
Go ahead.
Okay. So they have a very strict policy on the sizes of bags that you can take on board.
Well, it's not only strict, it's inconsistent and unfair. And if what you're going to tell us is yours fit in the container and they said, nope, you got to pay because it doesn't fit when you turn it another way or whatever.
Correct. But I took measurements of their sizer. And the sizer actually doesn't match the dimensions that they say you can have.
But did your bag fit in it?
No. My bag was the exact size of the sizer.
Okay.
So,
hold on. I want to talk about that. Hold on. I understand. You're saying their own bin does not match their measurements. Hold on for that. We'll come back.
Wow.
We should start carrying small claims forms pre-filled out when we fly Frontier, Mark, and just pass them out to people that...
Man, that's like Subway's 1 foot sandwich only being 11 inches, right, Jeff?
Something like that.
You've been surprised by that before?
It's like, a list of line of people who are just distressed.
Well, my wife was also expecting 12 inches, and she didn't get it.
Well, you thought. Oh, shit. I meant 12 centimeters.
Crazy stuff, man.
Hey, Tom?
Yeah.
Brian didn't know anything about concealed carry, but he says USCCA, which already was mentioned.
That's fine. That's fine. Good.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show. How can I help you?
See, I'm sick of people talking about Southwest. They
but
fucking shut down every flight like every week.
Okay, before
I was in the middle of that in
was
December.
having trouble, I like Southwest. Fair enough.
United is expensive but lovely. I've flown them a few times.
But you know what you're going to spend.
I'm from Houston, so I had Continental, United. I've flown United more than anything in my life, and I do not love them by any means. I like them more than Spirit and Frontier. Frontier.
Yeah.
But every time I get on Delta, I was like, this is nice. I just
Delta's
wish I
nice.
live in.
I've done Delta, but we fly from,
Delta's another step up. in
Yeah,
price,
we
though.
fly.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. We fly Frontier a ton, so United just felt like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
huge
yeah, yeah.
step
Right,
up,
right,
you
right,
know.
right,
But they've been really fine for me. I really like them. Delta, it's been. We got
They don't have as many hubs in this region. I think it's like Detroit, Atlanta,
Yeah.
Something. They have one of the Northeast, one of the New York. I think it might be JFK. But I've flown them a few times. I'm like, this is rivaling like international carriers.
Well, we got that wild pass with Frontier, all you can fly, but you can only book the day before.
Oh, wow.
So my daughter and I are going to my nephew's graduation. We have flying to New Orleans in a few weeks. I booked her flight. I've been looking at her. She's flying out on a Friday. It's direct. I've been looking every Thursday to see could I get a flight with this wild pass, and I can. So fingers crossed from the 19th of this month that I'm going to be able to get on that flight with her. Because the problem is the flights the day before and the day after, there's layovers and there's 12 hours. There's no direct from here to New Orleans.
Right.
Did you get them ordered?
They ran out?
Oh, I'll buy some thank you cards. Give me the number.
See, my brother and his fiance, her family works for United, so they fly standby.
They get all.
Yeah, and that's like their hobby is in the airport on their phones looking for a flight from, if they're going from here to here and they strike out, then they got to go from like here to here.
It's like a game.
It is. They flew Europe that way.
When I was a bit younger, and a major consideration was cost, then sure I would do that. Now, you couldn't pay me enough to do a layover.
You can't check bags.
Yeah.
It's all carry on, so you gotta travel really light.
Completely stressed. I'm the one that gets stressed. I'm not going to have a space for my carry on, but.
Yeah. So I don't know why I look at them guys.
But with this wild pass, Mark and I can get on a flight to Vegas tonight.
Sure.
Direct.
That's awesome.
And come back Sunday as long as there's space.
Well, you guys
Are there any blackouts?
There are some blackouts like Memorial Day weekend, 4th of July, Labor Day, Christmas.
High volume.
So, but I mean, now that I'm not doing the calls, it frees us up a little bit. We can jet off and stuff.
No kids, no calls, no get your puppy dogs handled.
Yeah, and daughter will be home from law school next week, so she'll be home for the summer and be home with us.
What kind of puppies?
The German Shepherd and Mini Austin.
Nice.
Yeah, the true. I kind of want a corgi.
Oh, you sound like my wife. She wants a corgi so bad. I was like, no, thank you.
They're so cute.
They're very cute.
I was walking my guys
like my
in the
labs.
park, and I ran across.
I'm a lab guy.
Labs are good dogs.
What do they call them? Cane Corso?
Known. I have a
How do
Cane.
you
I have
spell it?
C-A-N-E.
I have a Cane Corso.
C-A-N-E.
C-O-R-S-O.
Oh.
Roman war dogs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And this dog was the biggest child.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're
Well, I have a Cane
Wait,
Corso.
are they huge?
150 pounds.
Holy shit. Sorry, excuse my language. Oh my gosh.
Who are you talking to?
I'm pretty sure that's tall.
It must be that Roman collar you're wearing.
He's
So-
the coolest dog.
So Kevin, I have a Cane Corso, Great Dane.
Oh my
Mix?
god.
That's
That's
gonna
what
be
you have
huge.
right now, Tom?
Yeah, the Great Dane. Dad was like 190. The Cane Corso is smaller, so she's gorgeous. I mean, we go everywhere with her, and $10,000 of training later. Now she's very good, but they're protective. They are, I mean, they are ferocious.
I was telling them,
This one? The chicken?
'cause I had a friend down in Larkspur that used to breed bull mastiffs.
Mm-hmm.
And they had one of their dogs, their personal dogs, was a bull mastiff St. Bernard mix. It's a huge dog. It's 300 pounds.
Yeah, gonna live for 5 years.
They were out of the house one day and somebody broke in. Somebody knew that they had dogs, so he comes in prepared, got a bone for the dog, and the dog just walked over to him, reached out, and he's like, cool, I got the dog, and the dog just held onto his hand and sat down. And they just held him there. Every time the guy tried to walk away or something, he just clamped down a little bit. He stood there, and eventually they showed up, and the guy had been there for like 3 hours with this dog clamped onto his side. He's like, call the cops, call the sheriff, I don't care, call your dog.
Oh, she just got Dave? Yeah.
Probably never broke.
Because you're not going to
either.
drag that 350-pound dog.
Yeah. You should. Awesome.
Like
Okay.
down at Alameda car basically, and I go down to the Belmar Park, walk around there all the time. The guy had one of those dogs. They're intimidating.
Oh yeah. Oh,
You know, when you first see them.
And I mean, she's beautiful. She really is. It turns head. But people are also like, that's beautiful, but I walk her without a leash because she's well trained. But when she starts getting ants and you see her mouth, and it's just like her head is big.
Oh, her head's the size of, basketball.
My wife made her an Instagram profile. She has like 1,500 followers. Our cat even has an Instagram.
But once I got up to the dog, you know, because I asked him, I said, okay, he loves people.
Yeah.
You know, you can just see it in his face.
And they can sense what your intentions are. Yeah. They're good dogs. They
That's a dog you have to have.
Make it Redbird Farm.
It was an insane amount of money and time and effort. And my wife's real coddling with the dog. And I'm like, look, dogs like this need to know who an alpha is. And I'm not saying go beat your dog. But you gotta go like you gotta let them know.
To be the alpha.
Oh yeah.
You let that big bull be the alpha. You're in trouble. That's a lot of dog. I was scratching his head. It's like.
And $5,000 now by listening to 630 KHOW on the free iHeartRadio app.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK is the number you can call to get right in on the show. Let's go to the phones and find out what we can do for you to make your life a little easier. Waterpros.net will get you all the drinking water you want under $1,000. Compare that to plumbing systems that plumbers offer for drinking water. 5 times the amount, and not as good. That's paulthewaterman.com. All right, let's talk. And we were talking about concealed carry permit insurance when you carry a gun. And there is one source available that Jeff Vick told us about. He's a guest today, along with Kevin Calkin, Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission. We have Kevin Calkin with Sheridan Auto Tech. And Alvin, what is going on? You have a comment on that. Go ahead.
Hey, how's it going, Tom?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you know, huh?
I said, yes, sir, I'm doing fine. What's happening?
Oh, all right. On that concealed weapon, I couldn't hear whether the guy said he already took the class or not, but when he take the class, because there was one in my class and my son did a class, there was one in there, there's usually a guy in there representing the insurance for the gun carry permit, and they'll explain it to you and tell you what all it covers and go through the whole thing, and then at the end of the class, you know, you can decide whether you want to sign up with them or not, because they'll give you a card in their application and, you know, everything you need to start it up. So if he hadn't taken the class yet, he'll see it. They'll be in there because they, you know, being able to sell the carrier insurance and explain to you why you should have it, you know?
All right. Thank you, Alvin. Appreciate it. Now, Jeff Vick, how much does it cost, that insurance?
I think I pay, I want to say it's $35 a month.
That much, huh? Okay. And what does it cover?
It basically provides a legal defense team if you've had to discharge your weapon in self-defense. So you have immediate legal representation.
That's if they decide it was self-defense, right?
No, they'll come to your aid immediately. So you know, if you don't actually want to make a statement to police, even if it's clear that it's self-defense, you don't want to be talking to the police. And most officers will understand that because it's a very serious situation. They will come to your side. You discuss it with them, and they decide what to share with the police.
Okay. And about $35 a month. And how
much? I want to say that's what I'm paying for. That's for both me and my wife's.
How much coverage is it?
It's $1 million worth of coverage.
Okay. Lori, you have something you want to make people aware of. Go ahead, Lori. I haven't forgotten about you, Deborah. Hang on. This is I want to really get to it, but Lori has a quick announcement. Go ahead, Lori.
Hi, Tom. My name is Laurie Montoya, and I'm president and founder of Biker Down. I'm also Robert Montoya's wife from LEM Landscaping.
Okay. And what is Biker Down? Excuse my ignorance. What is Biker?
That's okay. We're a 501c3 Colorado nonprofit that helps injured motorcycle riders with recovery after an accident.
And is the name of it bikerdown.org?
Yes.
It's not working, the site, bikerdown, DOWN.org. I am on it, and I'm trying to find it. Guys, were you able to bring up that site? Oh, I do. Okay, hold on. Okay, I have it now, but I guess I typed in www. But just typing in biker.org did not work for me. Now it does. Never mind, I got it. Okay, so what's going on with it? What is it?
Well, we help injured motorcycle riders with recovery after an accident, and 60% of all motorcycle riders are hit by some form of distracted driving, hit and runs and things like that. And so May is Motorcycle Awareness Month. I'm sure many people are seeing the billboards and the lighted signs on the highway. But I just wanted to call and ask your listeners, who many of them, drive cars and trucks, to please make sure that you have adequate insurance when you're driving and getting behind a wheel. Since COVID, 65% of all drivers have the basic minimum coverage or no insurance at all, and we're seeing that across the board nationwide. And so, when bikers don't have 6 airbags to keep them safe. So we're having a motorcycle awareness ride on the 13th of May, the Can You See Me Now ride. But we just really want to implore to people to have the right kind of coverage. People seem to think that when they have full coverage, that it covers everything. And what it really only does is replace your vehicle or help you in the event you hit someone else.
So what kind of coverage specifically are you talking about? Because that's what I consider full coverage. What are you talking about? I'm sorry.
Well, what I'm talking about is having uninsured or underinsured motorists.
For sure. Absolutely. Because a lot of people, you're right, a lot of people that hit you will not have the adequate liability. So if you ended up, let's say, with $1 million of pain and suffering and medical bills, it would do you no good if the other party has zilch for insurance. I mean, unless they're wealthy and have zilch for insurance, but most wealthy people have insurance. The point is most of the time when people get hit, there's nowhere to collect. And John Fuller even recognizes that, our personal injury attorney. He says, right, especially motorcyclists or cyclists, whatever you call them, motorcyclists need to get, or riders, they need to get uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage to help themselves. Absolutely. Plus medical payments as well.
Med pay is great, and accident, specifically towards motorcycle riders, you should really have some sort of accident policy, such as Aflac. Many other carriers carry it.
In addition to the bike coverage,
in addition, above and beyond, and you also all people should have their living will documents put into place. I deal with a tremendous amount of trauma, people that have lost a loved one on the bike, but you also see it in vehicular accidents where people are the family's as traumatized as the person that's injured or the loss of a loved one.
You know what? Go ahead. I'm sorry. 1 in 13.
No, you go ahead. This is your show. Go ahead.
No. I was going to say one thing that really pisses me off, and it's gotta bother you because you can see better than we can from our cars. But I know you've pulled up to cars, and there are people in there looking down, texting on their phone while they're driving.
Exactly. In 2019, we passed State Bill 27 banning texting and driving while your vehicle's moving. We can't get law enforcement to enforce it. I've always said if we had those kind of stops like we do during holidays, drinking and driving stops, if we had those kind of stops to check for vehicles having insurance or catching people texting and driving, many people spend a tremendous amount of energy to get these bills passed, and then they're not enforced at the street level. And, for 2 years, we've tried to pass SB 27 to get cell phones out of people's hands when they're driving. And what I normally tell people is, you can be at a stoplight. This one's on to your right is on the phone. This one is texting driving.
And listen, I don't mind if they have Bluetooth, but my God, these people are holding the phone in their hand, texting while they're driving. It's insane.
Exactly.
By the way, okay, so you wanted to tell us about the ride. I got to take a break. When is the ride?
The ride is May 13th. It's in Golden, Colorado at our biker bar called Dirty Dogs Roadhouse. We're going to be honoring our fallen and injured, and everyone there is going to have a Can You See Me Now motorcycle awareness T-shirt. And the only thing I ask the drivers that are driving is, I understand how people look at motorcycle riders, but we are mothers and fathers and husbands and wives, and we want to get home just like you. So, in those moments, don't just think that we're bad biker people. We are the most charitable people. 93% of all of our rides go to charities outside of the biker community, and we just ask you to please share the road with us, and please get an insurance review and get uninsured motorists.
Okay, and for more information, bikerdown.org. One thing, though, on your site that's a little morbid, my God, you know what I'm talking about on the store?
Yeah, I know.
People can buy motorcycle-themed urns for their cremated remains? Yeah. My God.
But that's because we want to honor that biker.
No, I know that. I'm just, oh my.
In a way. No, I know, but it's sad. We had 149 fatalities in the state of Colorado last year. In the state of Florida, they had 6,000 accidents and 600 fatalities.
Oh my God.
It's an epidemic nationwide. So we just ask everybody to just be aware.
Yeah, and most of the time, by the way, it's not a motorcycle rider's fault. It's not. It's somebody distracted, like you said, and they kill all kinds of people. We have more coming right up. I'm Tom Martino.
Yep.
It's the Marketer's Report.
Tom, I can make a hollowed-out microphone as an urn for you.
On building loyalty with customers.
Thank you very much.
Here to help.
Really work to create amazing access moments for our customers. We will do sound check parties so that only Capital One cardholders can get access to, and we can't pull that off without iHeart.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
I love the art of granite. You can call right now and get a price for your countertop. And it doesn't have to be granite. That's what the name says, the art of granite, but it's the art of everything right when it comes to countertops. And all you have to do is call. He'll give you a price on the phone, whether it's granite or marble or quartz, quartzite, solid stone, natural stone, engineered stone, man-made materials. Get your price. Tear out and haul away is free. The bathroom's free when you have the kitchen done. And wholesale on all materials for the counters. TheArtOfGranite.com, 303-386-5919, 386-5919. Now let's talk about Made in the Shade, a way to save money and get window coverings. What is Made in the Shade? It's a window covering, complete window covering service from A to Z. From the time they come and estimate and measure free, they have a design consultant help you buy the right stuff, whether it's shades or blinds or shutters or curtains or drapes, soft goods, hard goods. They do it all, Made in the Shade, all the major brands. Then after they measure and estimate for free, they come and install it with their in-house team. And they guarantee the installation as well as all the major manufacturers' guarantees. 720-458-6566, 720-458-6566. Hey, if you need extra cash, DavidEllisJewelry.com. I've talked about David for many, many years. He's a name we've trusted for 40 years. 3rd and Clayton and Cherry Creek. If you want to sell any jewelry whatsoever, whether it's junk and you just want them to weigh it and pay it, or it has some kind of value for antique or estate value, call them 303-322-8779 or go see them 2640 East 3rd Avenue. That's 3rd and Clayton. DavidEllisJewelry.com.
There are costly mistakes.
Did you want to say that on the air? We can get you over to Tom. No, I don't. No, okay. No, and I love the lane sharing stuff too. I can't tell you how tempted I am to open the door. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
most of the time doesn't recognize you.
I'm gonna go serve.
Yeah, because we're over off, and I was driving that way, and it's
Well,
like,
I mean,
couldn't tell.
do everything.
Motorcycles actually leave
Yeah,
those
I'm gonna
within
go
the
serve.
guidelines.
unbelievable how long they are.
Concrete dude real quick. I was there like 3 years ago. I'll make sure it's the same address. It wasn't that far. Well,
I mean, aren't they already satisfied enough driving a freaking vibrator? I mean, I'd be happy with that. No, but all right, man. Well, I understand, and I appreciate the call, brother. Thank you.
Driving a vibrator.
Yeah, isn't that enough for you? You gotta freaking cause trouble for everybody else?
And
Oh
the
my
funniest
God.
thing is most techs I know, they're living hand to mouth anyway because they don't know how to manage their money. It's, how can you afford?
The
to,
YouTubers
No,
are
'cause what
also
they're doing is
collecting unemployment and
bitching
workers'
about the
comp
bikes.
is what they're doing.
Right.
But the state doesn't require them to seek out employment, so they just stay on unemployment for a year.
Well, in theory, they're supposed to prove that
You're not just a number,
but
Shannon.
it's not enforced.
Call me Papa Wheelie.
And yeah, you're actually totally right. It's like, yeah, they can't afford the reduced amount because they're paycheck to paycheck.
Mhm.
So much of
Yeah,
the time I spend in the organization.
Oh, I get
talking
guys
about-
that if the pay falls on a Sunday and it ends up being the third when the check comes out, I can't even pay my rent. I got no gas to get to work. It's like, you know, $6 grand, $7 grand. That's not how do you know how to? Seriously, I gotta lend you money to get gas to go to work on that?
Mhm.
No, you're
I tell them all. I'm like, don't forget, if you have money problems, there's two sides of the ledger. Might not have a revenue problem, you got an expense problem. And when I see you with your Starbucks every day, and
Well,
you're
that,
going out
and
to
you-
eat lunch
you can
for
pick out their toolbox when you get there. It's the biggest, shiniest, craziest, you know. That's one thing I never got. Toolboxes don't fix cars.
yeah, I got a six-figure guy who has in his 50s, respectable, no tattoos. He's just a nice guy. Nice
So does he want to?
I'm like, you couldn't make it a bank. You're on your
Yeah, that Gerard Butler movie does help me up.
Yeah, I get it. If it's like some 25-year-old who's a B-Tech.
Doesn't he
who's
put the
still
one guy
trying
on
to
some sort of medication to
earn
keep
something?
him
I
alive?
lost the B-Tech. He
While
moved to
he
Grand
tortured
Junction
him?
so he could buy a house and start a family.
God
And I was like,
bless
hey,
him.
you know what? I'm gonna call.
Even though I
this
know he's
company
British or some crap.
because you're not losing
Hard
because
to
of
watch.
Oh my gosh,
He
yeah.
went to Oklahoma because that's where his wife was from.
But
He could afford to buy a house there. It was Pueblo. Yeah. So
Worth it.
yeah, I have to fast forward the first part because I can't take them raping the little girl.
Yep. That's not everybody's cup of tea, depending on how you vote. All right, I digress. Here we go, Mr. Martino.
RYS.com to sign up today. Gyrie's, your neighborhood paint store since 1899.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Deborah, let's go back to Frontier. This is a terrible situation. I can't tell you how many people are confronting this. Their carry-on policy for personal items is a money-making scheme. It's a scam. I thought at first, I tried to give it rhyme or reason where they wanted you to rotate the bag, maybe some cockamamie reason, but they give measurements, and now you're telling me the actual bin that they use at the airport does not measure the outside dimensions that they say your bag must be?
Correct.
Did you measure it, and did you film it?
Yes. Yes. I took pictures. I had purposely bought a bag to fit. And when I measured it at home, and it was the correct dimensions. But when I got to the airport, it didn't fit. And so I had to pay the $99. And
Hey, Mark, did you ever
figure out
bother?
why
I know Mark had a problem with them, and he got the money refunded. Mark,
I tried.
Mark, did you? Well, you didn't try. No, you didn't. You didn't try. You have to take him to small claims court, and you'll win.
Oh, okay.
Deborah, Mark, did you ever measure the actual bin
Tommy,
itself?
Mark went and served somebody for a caller of ours real quick.
Oh,
He'll
okay.
be right back.
But did he ever measure the bin? Did you ever? Suze, when you were traveling, did you measure that bin itself?
No, we just took a bunch of video, Tom.
Okay. She's
And
saying
then,
the bin
showed
itself.
that it fit and all of that.
Yours fit in the bin. You don't even have that issue.
And we went with the dimensions that were off their website.
Yeah, their dimensions are actually on their website. Say that you can have a bag that's 14 inches high by 18 inches wide by 8 inches deep. The 14 inches and the 18 inches are fine. It's the 8-inch dimension, which is the front to back dimension.
Yeah.
And a part of it allows for an 8-inch bag. But in the corners, they have these mounting brackets that have buttonhole, or what do you call them? Button screws on them. So the mounting bracket itself is 1/8 of an inch, and the button head screw is 1/8 of an inch. So right there, that's a 1/4 inch smaller. So the largest bag that you could have would be 7 3/4 inches.
You know,
and that's where
unless
my issue came in.
unless people boycott and protest, nothing will happen. They'll continue doing it over and over and over.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to
Yeah.
happen. Were
And
you
I said-
charged? By the way, were you charged extra?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you? And you took
$99,
pictures. And
yeah.
you took pictures. You should take them
Yeah.
to small claims court. They have a Colorado agent.
You think so?
Well, Mark won every single time.
We were refunded the next day after we served them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And it cost
Yeah, and I also
$50 to file.
contacted- Yeah. So I get, $49 back.
Well,
I
they
think you can
paid.
get that back as well.
They paid a lot of
Yeah.
money. Yeah, you can ask for
Okay.
your filing fee. Listen, they paid a lot of money
Yeah.
for their carry-ons for both ways, and they got all their money
Yeah.
back. And you can too. And I urge people to do it because they suck. It's the worst airline I've ever heard of. The worst airline ever. And I know Mark talks about Southwest missing flights and all that. They don't miss that many flights. They really don't. I mean, I can't believe anyone flies Frontier. You know what? If Frontier was the only airline flying to a city, I wouldn't fly them. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Bennett's got a comment on concealed carry permits and insurance. Go ahead, Bennett.
Hey, man, real quick. I've been insured with U.S. Law Shield since 2016, and the reason I'm with them, we went to a class that the police had put on, and they recommended using these people.
Now, somebody else told us that, too, that they went to a class and had a company recommended. We appreciate that, Bennett. Tom, what about you? You have a comment on that. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, it's very valuable insurance. I actually had to use it in 2019.
How did you have to use it?
Well, briefly, I'll tell you, I was tried to be held up at knife point by 2 thugs at the Walmart store in Warsaw, Indiana. And I pulled out my weapon, which I carry all the time. One of the guys dropped his knife and ran. The other one ran. And I was sued by the guy that had dropped his knife because as he was dropping his knife, he cut his arm with it.
Oh, come on. Wait a minute. A guy was trying to rob you with a knife. You held up a gun. He cut himself and sued you.
Yeah, well, later on he sued me.
What was the wait? On what grounds? I'm just curious. On what grounds, Tom?
It was fairly complicated, but he said that his attorney said that that would not have happened to him or occurred had I not pulled the gun. And
no, instead you would have been killed or robbed.
Yeah, possibly. And then the Warsaw, Indiana police, they're like, they locked me up. This is at 10 at night, and they locked me up till the next morning.
You are the one that got arrested?
Yes, sir. And,
did the other guy ever get arrested for attempted robbery?
Yes, they did as well, but they got let off fairly straightforward because it was not considered a major crime, I guess, or whatever.
Was there any tape on all of this?
No tape at all, but the security at the Walmart came to the rescue after the fact, and that's the only reason they captured the two guys. But but yeah,
Why were you locked up? Tell me, why were you locked up to begin with?
Because the criminals contended that I was trying to hold them up.
Oh, okay. Well, then, okay, I understand that. In other words, it wasn't for defending yourself. It was a difference of stories.
Now, did you make a report at the time when it happened?
Did you call police?
Yeah, immediately, and that's who captured the guys when they were still in the area. And they kind of, in a small town, they kind of knew who they were anyway, or had a good idea.
Did they have a criminal record?
Oh yeah, big time. That's their business, holding people up.
So wait a minute. So you were sued, and was it dismissed, or did you go to court trial?
Yeah, we went. It was dismissed before it got to trial, but only because my attorney and this is my group, was called Firearms Legal Protection, very similar to USCCA, which I used to have. They provided all the attorney. I got bailed out by them. Everything. I mean, I didn't really have to do anything. And had I not had that, I don't know what.
But hold on a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
So it was dismissed then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? In New York City, they're thinking about pressing charges on the Marine who protected people in the subway car when a guy was saying he's going to kill people. Yet the DA doesn't ever prosecute people who steal and hurt people, but if you protect people, you're going to get prosecuted. It is the most amazing bull crap I have ever seen in my entire life. I swear to God, we are living in an upside-down opposite world. 303-713-8255.
Got you.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth.
I think I'm doing better today.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted look.
Yesterday I was thinking I was going to need Joe
Lazara.com. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Starting to calm down out there throughout the Denver metro. We are still seeing some significant slow spots around town. Into downtown, I-25 northbound looking at speeds in the 30s and 40s between Alameda and Colfax. Southbound I-25 slow itself between I-70 and Spear. East of there, I-70 westbound, we've got some construction work at Brighton Boulevard with stop-and-go traffic back from Dahlia and Monaco. And further east, I-225 southbound slower speeds at 6th Avenue. Slow traffic back from Colfax. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies today, highs in the mid-70s, another warm one today. Overnight low of 41. Tomorrow, cloudy again with a high of 71. The current temperature is 68 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome at the end of your first year. They automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right. Everything you've earned, doubled. The cash back from trips, restaurants, all doubled. Seriously, though, see terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
You know, we were just talking about how you get in trouble for doing nothing wrong. That's why I love that Joe Lazara, a criminal defense attorney, is on my referral list at referralist.com. Now, that's not always the case. You're not always falsely accused, but it can happen. And another thing that can happen is a DUI because you made a stupid mistake, or perhaps there are extenuating circumstances. Some people pull over, they're not actually driving, they get popped. Whatever it is, Joe Lazara, you don't want to shop for a defense attorney when you're under pressure. We've known Joe for 30 years and done the shopping for you. He is a great person, passionate about your defense. Flat rate pricing, free initial consultations, 303-429-6200. That's 303-429-6200. Hey, I'll tell you someone passionate about real estate, and that's Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Frank Duran, by the way, has a buying and selling team at Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, RE/MAX Alliance. He will handle any side of the transaction for you, and he will represent your interest. And he's been doing it for 30 years, and by the way, he sells more houses than anyone at higher prices than the average. And also, listen to this one, he also buys more houses than anyone for people. So you can depend on his vast experience. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
Thank you.
How much time do I have?
4 minutes.
Thanks.
When we worked up at the DIA store,
Mhm.
one night coming back real late into Castle Rock, like 3, 4 in the morning. The guy thought there was a guy on the highway he was behind that thought Miles had his brights on. Santa Fe's are notorious for that, right? That you think you get flashed a lot. So Miles exits and he needs to get gas. The guy follows him, gets out with a machete. A machete.
I got to
Jeff.
remember to say that
And
next time
he's like, look, I
am
swear I
around a
wasn't
guy named
flashing
Nestor
my
who
brights.
throws up.
Look, he's
Hey,
like, my
an
bad.
empty nester.
Got in his car and just scared.
That's
the
it? My
shit
bad?
out of
That my
son.
bad?
My bad. Yeah, you're right, dude. I'm
Bad joke.
sorry.
You come at me like you just, come out of the freaking rainforest.
Yeah.
Cutting animals open.
Oh.
And,
Gross.
You should see the pictures she brings us in.
Oh my God. No.
Oh, wow.
So he
Where's
went
the
and
cameras?
used the bathroom, and then came back out again and kind of looking over.
Oh.
And I just pulled my 45.
But,
She's like a serial killer.
No, she loves animals and she wants to know how they work.
She gonna work at the zoo?
She could. We have connections. We have a friend that went on to SeaWorld.
And the other time
Oh,
I
that's
did,
Would be the
it was
woman
actually
ran the
hunting.
dolphin encounter.
Okay.
A friend of mine from when I was working with bands. And so she
What
said
about
she-
the aquarium?
Private landowner.
We don't know anybody there.
And he's like 13 years old. Shot his first
But we
deer.
do
The deer jumped the
know
fence.
people.
And they're over there arguing about it. He's like, yeah, and he's
Oh, who
going
you
to
know.
call DOW because you're poaching. So you're on
But
my
the
property.
joke was,
I said, dude,
what do you
he's
call a
got blood trail
chicken
from where the animal came
staring
and
at
jumped the
lettuce?
fence? Give him his fucking deer. And his dad was
A chicken
was with his
staring
dad.
at lettuce?
Uh-huh.
And his dad's getting heated. And next thing you know, the freaking
Roost?
landowner pulls out a freaking gun, and he's got it trained on.
I don't know.
trained on this kid. and
Chicken
his
Caesar
dad.
salad.
And so yeah, I'm like, it's not going to go down that way.
Gotcha.
Call DOW. Call DOW.
See, I was thinking rooster.
He wouldn't give him the fucking deer. And even after DOW came over there.
No, that's what some of the women I dated say.
No.
Any cockle-do.
So, but
What do you mean, cockle-doodle-doo?
and he ended up but he ended up getting a menacing charge for pulling the gun on the kid. So.
Any cock will do.
We got
I like
people
that.
out here with guns. You want to get hot-headed,
Yeah,
man?
that's not
That's not a good idea, man.
Shit. Okay.
I mean, it's one of the
More
reasons
water.
where, I'll carry once in a while, but I don't carry
Moisten
all the
up.
time because I think to myself, if I'm carrying and something's happening around, then you might escalate a situation. I know there's arguments against that and protect yourself, and I don't feel strongly one way or the other. It's just
Well, I'm no hero. And
yeah, no. That,
Good morning,
Yeah, no, I don't
Troubleshooter
wanna-
Show. Did you want to talk to Tom and the
Half
gang?
the time, I wouldn't even know what percent of the time. If you come into a situation you're not 100%.
I am
familiar
generally
with,
I'm
you
generally
gotta-
categorized as
the
the
problem is
opposite
one
of
of
help
these are
because I'm the
shop
moron that
is
runs the
Colfax,
audio
not the
here.
shop. I mean, it's
And,
Bonnie's Colfax.
Yeah.
The amount
But you never know. Bounce it off me. Let's see what
$1
happens.
million homes north and south of us. But on East Colfax, there's so much nonsense happening, and even our customers getting harassed sometimes and whatnot. So I get out there and I'm like,
Was it XL Roofing?
de-escalate the situation without
Was it a company he was praising or
No,
when he
it's
was
a
going
challenge,
after?
'cause, we're on Colfax.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
that's
just,
right.
Just west of Wadsworth. And all in all, it's a decent neighborhood, but I mean, we have some stuff, apartment building stuff behind us that are challenging.
Shoot a poodle.
And I mean, law enforcement, I get their deal. It's like these people are going to do what they're going to do. As long as they stay on Colfax and not go into
Well-
south into the nicer
150 free hair grafts. AdvancedHair.com.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. By the way, CentryRV.com, somebody wants to know if they have used RVs. They absolutely have used RVs as well. And in fact, they'll buy your RV because they have so much call for used RVs. If you want to sell it, even if you don't want to trade it, 303-453-1111, exit 240 I-25 on the frontage road, CentryRV.com. Yes, they have used ones. Now, this one is scaring the hell out of me. Amber's call. In fact, when I looked at Amber's call on the call screener, which tells us what the call's about, I went like this. And I don't know if anyone else did, but Amber, tell us about your problem.
Hi. So I purchased my first home about 6 weeks ago, and I moved in, and 2 weeks ago I found a snake in my wall, and as things unfolded, I have found multiple snakes in my wall.
How do you find them in your wall? Do you, like, break the wall open, or what? What do you mean you found them?
There was a small hole in the drywall, and my dog alerted me to something over there, so I went over and I saw a snake slither up the drywall. So as things unfolded, I started cutting pieces of the drywall, and snakes would fall out of the wall.
Oh, my God.
That's insane.
Oh, hold on. Let me ask you something here, Amber. First and foremost, are you crazy? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Amber, another question. Is this a new or used home?
So it was a fix and flip. It was built in '84, and they flipped it. And I was talking to my neighbor day before yesterday, and he told me that when they were flipping it, the contractors would invite him over to show him all of the snakes in the house. They knew they were there.
Here's what's weird about it, Amber. Nowhere on a disclosure sheet does it ask, do you have snakes in your wall? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm not kidding. I'm not trying to make light of it, but I wonder if this is something that you have to disclose. I don't know. I mean, how bad is it, Amber?
It is so bad. I can't even unpack my things.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Is it like a horror movie kind of bad?
Yes.
Would that be considered an infestation, Tom? Wouldn't that have to be disclosed?
You know, it is an infestation. Does it ask on a disclosure sheet about infestations? Can we get Frank Duran, the real estate man, on? Hold on. Amber, did you contact the guy that fixed and flipped this house?
I contacted my realtor, and Channel 7 News tried to contact the seller, and he...
Did Channel 7, this is made for TV, did Channel 7 do a story?
They did. It aired Wednesday night at 10, and then I have Fox 31 is coming out to do a story today on it.
Oh, my God. And
really
did Channel 7 see some snakes?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, give me an idea of how many snakes we're talking about.
So far, we've caught 10, and then there's traps. There's some more laid out on the traps right now. And
Now, who did you call? Is there a snake pest control?
Yeah, so I called animal control initially, and they don't deal with snakes. So then I had Orkin come out. They also don't deal with snakes. So I ended up contacting a place called Birds, Bees, and More, and he came out. He was able to catch one snake and then set a bunch of traps and caught several more with the trap.
What kind of snakes? What kind?
Some people are saying they're very, very large gardener snakes, and some people are saying they're bull snakes.
How large are they?
Very. Probably they range from like 3 feet long to babies.
And how thick? How thick are they?
About as thick as a quarter, like as round of a quarter.
Okay, I got you. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
You know, we used to have Suze on the referral list years ago, Enviro Critter or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm just wondering if they're still there. I mean,
check.
Yeah, but here's the deal. I don't know what to. So this Channel 7 tried to call the seller. And what happened?
Yes. He told them that if they contacted him again, he would sue them.
Oh, my God. Sue them for what?
I know. Right. I don't know.
Now, we have Black Widow. We have Black Widow exterminators and AGT varmint control. But say goodbye to unwanted wildlife. Now, this is pine conifer in Denver, but it doesn't talk about snakes. But Suze, did you see this one? AGD varmint control. I never knew we had them on there.
I think he might be in the Springs, but let me double check, Tom.
It looks like it says Pine, Colorado is where he is, but he says he handles Denver. And then Black Widow, man, he's really good. But Paul over there, but I don't know if he does snakes. I know he does. My God.
And just to answer your earlier question, I'm looking at the news story right now. Those are definitely garter snakes.
Are they?
Yep.
Wow. Wow. So, listen, what do you want to know? Since you went to Channel 7 and Channel 31's coming over, what do you want to know about your legal recourse? Do you want us to talk to... Let's call Brad O'Brien. That's who we're going to call. Bradley O'Brien, O'Brien Legal Services. And I'm going to take Frank right now. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Frank, if a home,
hey, Tom,
if a builder or a fix and flipper, if he's told by a contractor, you got a problem with snakes in this house all over the walls, and they drywall over it, and this woman has a snake problem, I'm not kidding, would this be something that should have been disclosed, do you think? Can you think of a category on the disclosure sheet that would have required it?
Well, Tom, two things on that. The short answer is absolutely, because if it's something that the seller knew prior, it's an adverse material fact. Now, on the seller's property disclosure, there is a section where it says damage due to termites, insects, birds, animals, rodents. I mean, and even if it doesn't specifically say snakes, there's a miscellaneous area where you can disclose that in there as well if it doesn't fall into that category. But regardless, if it's an adverse material fact that the seller actually knows, they need to disclose it.
Frank, have you ever had a house sell or list or anything like that that was considered snake infested?
Well, not exactly. I had one gentleman, though, that loved snakes, and he had them all throughout his house as pets, but everybody knew that when they walked in. That's about as close to that as I can come, probably.
The problem with snakes, Jeff, with snakes, can they lay little eggs that'll hatch for a while?
Oh, yeah, and garter snakes will...
But they're live birth.
No, they're eggs.
Garters?
Yes.
I thought they were live birth.
Nope, they are eggs, and they'll actually get together during one time of the year. They'll actually group up, and you'll have basically a massive snake orgy. You will have a big...
How many could be there then?
Just looking at the pictures has there, they're dealing into the hundreds easily.
Wow. We need to call Brad O'Brien, O'Brien Legal Services, a real estate attorney. By the way, Frank Duran, the real estate man, thank you very much for weighing in on this. He says, man, this is a material negative effect or whatever. Anyway, we have more coming right up.
That's good stuff.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report
That
is
is
sponsored by the
disgusting.
Truth with Lisa Booth podcast.
Starting to calm down out there throughout the Denver metro. We are still seeing some significant slow spots around town. Into downtown, I-25 northbound looking at speeds in the 30s and 40s between Alameda and Colfax. Southbound I-25 slow itself between I-70 and Spear. East of there, I-70 westbound, we've got some construction work at Brighton Boulevard with stop-and-go traffic back from Dahlia and Monaco. And further east, I-225 southbound slower speeds at 6th Avenue. Slow traffic back from Colfax. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies today. Highs in the mid-70s, another warm one today. Overnight low of 41. Tomorrow cloudy again with a high of 71. The current temperature is 68 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Are you tired of your kids being indoctrinated in school? I'll talk to a mom who's doing something about it. Listen to The Truth with Lisa Booth every Monday and Thursday, but you can listen throughout the week on the iHeartRadio app, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever you find your podcasts.
You know, May 25th, we've marked on the calendar for Mark and me are going to join Joe Chiano, his son Jordan, and a bunch of financial experts to talk about retirement, to talk about financial security, and it's good for any age. Listen, we're going to talk about is securing income for life. We're going to talk about the proper insurance, long-term care. We're going to talk about Medicare. We're going to talk about everything in between, anything you need as far as the finances of your life as you get older. BecomeTheBanker.org is the website, or you can call 303-779-6600. Hey, SentryRV.com, I can't talk enough about them because I love the way they do business. They have rock-bottom prices, great supply, and they have a brand-new, beautiful maintenance facility for their customers, so you can buy new or used RVs at SentryRV.com. That's north on I-25 to exit 240, then they're on the east side on the frontage road. 303-453-1111. Everything from a bumper pole, pop-up campers to Class A motorhomes and fifth wheels. You will love them. SentryRV.com.
Very kind, thank you.
Oh.
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
Yeah, Kevin was right, actually. They do give live birth.
Okay.
And it's about a 2 or 3 month gestation period, and they can give up to 80 at a time.
I'll go tell her.
Yeah, the big ones are the females.
Yeah, they can give birth up to 80 babies at a time.
Wants to talk to her.
That is crazy.
There was a house in Kansas. There was a couple years ago, and it was some sort of
pizza,
thing
right?
with the garter snakes where it was almost migratory, where they would all show up. At
Right,
this
this is the
property.
snake orgy I was talking about.
Yeah. But it's like once that house is...
What line is he on? Richard, the limo driver. I got a second. What's going on, man?
I don't know if you can fix that.
Oh, lunch is here.
Because that's what they were saying at that house. They
Tom?
Yeah.
Hey, Brad's not available
What is it?
until 1:15.
No, it's like salmon going upstream.
He's in a deposition.
Cool. What is it called?
Damn it.
Okay.
We might have to reschedule it for him.
Understood. She's getting her a fair amount of media attention here and there, Tom.
So just, if we need it, just reach out to that line, the 586-6999. Am I looking at that right?
I mean, not like she shouldn't, but you're absolutely right. It's a made-for-TV story.
Sweet. Thanks, man. I'll save your info. Thanks a lot. Have a good day. Bye.
All right, Tom, the fellas are on this side eating pizza. What did you have delivered?
Nothing.
Nothing? All right, guys, a moment of silence for Tom, who's on a hunger.
Mark's doing the no-carb, Tommy. It's driving me crazy.
Well, he can eat that, the top.
No, I don't think he will. He's like being all diehard right now. It's just like, we're miserable. Because, of course, I have to support him, and I don't do no-carb, but I do low.
So is there another attorney you want, Tom?
Brad O'Brien. I thought you wanted Brad O'Brien.
He's
No?
in a deposition.
Oh.
Depot.
Till 1:15.
Maybe line it up for Monday or something. Talk about it again.
Yeah, so when Desi died, she was 14 feet.
You had a snake?
Yeah.
Oh, you crazy woman, you.
Yeah. We had
you are insane.
Colombian red-tailed boa.
Colombian red-tailed boa.
Yeah, you can look it up.
You'd think that women would like snakes more. Your relationship goes back to the Garden of Eden. Don't forget.
Whatever. Not me. That's a hard no. No
Yeah.
snakes, no spiders.
Yeah,
no
look her
way.
up. They get huge in the wild. They're very docile. Except, when you have to feed them.
No, thank you. I'm looking it up, by the way. I can't find the beauty in snakes. I just can't. Or the beauty in spiders. I don't know. I
Snakes
can't.
are so cool. I loved Desi. And
Our
the
neighbor
kids
has
loved
a
Desi.
couple.
We had her when the kids were really little, and she would.
Weren't you afraid they'd strangle your little kids?
No, she never did that. I mean,
well,
she would wrap around your leg, and but that was just to hold on.
I think we can all agree that Kelly would strangle the kids before anybody else.
Yes. Yeah. Kelly wanted to strangle the son yesterday, for sure.
Jerry, get in here.
I was ready See if I can find it. The pictures.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, basic.
630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Listen, we are going to have our attorney on to address this snake problem, Amber, but he's not available right now. This is something where you can't let this hang out. You're going to have to sue. This is a major disclosure issue, in our opinion, so let's just figure that out. I'm going to take people who've been...
agree.
Yeah, so you hang on. We not hang on, but Kachina Clory is going to get your contact info. We have a real estate attorney who will weigh in on it. And this guy who threatened to sue, I mean, I don't even understand it. Why would he threaten to sue for just inquiring about it? But you need to secure that contractor. You need to go talk to that contractor that said that he told the guy about it. You must get that guy, okay? I don't know if you know him, but get him. Jeff, you have a roofing question. Go ahead, Jeff. Welcome. What's happening?
But you need to
Jeff?
secure that contract. You need
Oh,
to go
man.
talk to
Okay,
that
listen,
contractor.
we just can't do this. So put him on hold. Coletta, your turn. Go ahead, Coletta. What's happening?
Terrific. Thank you. I'm so
Yeah.
glad to be on.
What's going on?
I've been, I've got a problem with Booking.com.
What's the problem?
So,
they're very
going on-
very difficult to deal with. What's happening?
Oh my gosh, it's horrible. I've hit brick walls there.
Yeah, I know.
My husband and I went to Italy. We went to Italy in October, and we're with a 2-week tour. When the tour was over, it was the 5th of October. I had rented through Booking.com a 2-bedroom apartment for 5 nights so we could stay longer after the tour was done. So we were supposed to check in on the 6th. My brother was flying
Now, where was
in
this
on the
apartment?
7th. In Rome.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't even say that. Yeah. Yeah, it was in Rome, in the location we wanted, with all the amenities we wanted, the rating we wanted,
Got
and
it.
so on. So we were at dinner saying our farewells to the tour group on Wednesday night, the 5th, 7:30 in the evening there in Rome. I get a phone call, not a phone call, I got an email from Booking.com that says, oh, the apartment can't accommodate you because of overbooking.
Okay.
That left us.
Okay, so that was the night before.
That's right. That was on the 5th. We were supposed to check in on the 6th, and it was about 7:30 at night.
Did you get your money back?
So, no. Well, yes, we got a refund from that apartment, but then we had to find another place to stay. Now,
I
they
get
said
that
they
part.
had-
So what happened then?
Right. Well, they had in their email said that they found us a similar place. And it wasn't similar in like 6 different categories. And so I thought, I'm not going to take that. I'm just going to do it on my own. So I spent the time it needed to take to find a place for my husband and me to stay that first night after the tour. And then for my brother coming in, we need to find
but
a
here's what I need
place
to know,
so we get
Coletta. What do you want from Booking right now? What do you want from them?
I want a refund of the increased costs that we incurred for booking the alternative.
I don't think.
So they were giving
Listen
us
carefully.
They were giving us.
Listen
okay.
carefully. I don't think you're going to get it, but there's a reason why. We've handled cases like this before. You're going after the wrong party. They didn't breach your contract. And I'm giving you an opinion based on past experiences. This is not a legal opinion, but the landlord, whoever was renting it out, I mean, Booking wants to rent it to you. They had no reason not to want to. But let's discuss it coming up. Hang on.
Week on the
About 10 years to.
Hey, you bastards! You're eating pizza on my dime. Damn it!
No, it's on Kevin's.
I don't mean that. I just mean technically on my time. Then.
My 23andMe came
Yeah,
back
well,
that I
you know,
was
I'm
increased
here
risk
too,
for,
so it's my time as
celiac,
well.
But when I was testing,
Damn you.
I was like
Spicoli.
1 point
Yeah.
off Kaiser.
They don't let me order anymore.
So,
Well,
you know. So that's about all the
gotta
testing
keep
I had
the
done.
old fellers away
They,
from
all
you.
they say, they give me a message saying, I'm no longer available.
You aren't, or the pizza isn't.
They say
my only
they can no longer do my place ever. We are sorry. They
Wow.
don't. They will not. They
When
just
you get
don't.
blacklisted by Blackjack, that's pretty bad.
No, it's not. They will not. They will not let me order. These sons of bitches.
Man, that is tough.
Oh wow, that's a sizable one.
Yeah, she was 14 feet when she died.
Wow.
She's about 12 feet right
They
here.
don't normally get that big, do they? In
Yeah,
captivity?
yeah, they do. They can get 20 feet.
Do they like cuddle? What do they
Well, she was a little monster. She used
Hmm?
to get tangled up because I used to take her into bed because she likes warm spaces.
And that's why they'll cuddle up with you too,
Yeah,
because they
yeah.
like your body.
Yeah, and so I used to take her to bed with me at night, and Adam would, be traveling or doing whatever, and she would, just about the time, around, she would kind of wind herself around the bedpost and do all that and kind of get into a little bit of trouble right as I fell asleep. And no, she was good.
Did they ever play where they like wrap around you and squeeze?
No. I mean, she did. Like in this.
Just kidding.
Like, they'll wrap around you just to hold on, but they don't. I mean.
So they are affectionate.
Yeah, you don't feed her, or I mean, you have to feed her. And
She was probably.
about,
She was probably what, large rabbits or something?
yes, at one point.
Mhm.
I mean, when we first got her, she was about 8 feet, and so she did rats.
Large rats.
Yep. And then she eventually did rabbits or pygmy goats.
You fed her pygmy goats?
It's better than the neighbor's cat.
Oh my God, Callie, those things are so cute. Oh my God.
I just picked out the ugliest one. I mean, for every one, like 5,000 multiply. It's just like rabbits. They used to we had to pre-kill all of her food, which really sucked. So, because she didn't like frozen.
They didn't get anchovies this time, did they?
No. Let's just give them to her live.
Prey will actually attack the snake.
Yeah, no, we had that problem with some rats. If you left them in there for too long, they'd start attacking the snake.
Yeah. So, I mean, she had perfect markings. We didn't want to hurt her. So,
Oh my God.
So, like, basically, they'd hold up 2 rabbits, and we'd pick the ugliest one, and they'd go back and twist their neck.
Did the snake die? Is that how you finally? Is that how the
that's right.
family relationship ended?
Yeah, it was unfortunate. But she loved the kids. Kids loved her.
Hey, girl, I wanted to tell you, like that Richard the limo driver guy. If people like that call, he was like, "Wow, you've got quite the guard of people to get through to get to you stuff," and which I appreciate, right?
Yeah.
But if people like that call, feel free to say, "Hey, I'm happy to take your number and email it to her if she wants to call you. She
Okay,
will."
if you don't
Feel
wanna take
free.
off on it. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know if it
or
was something important or not.
no, or if somebody's really trying to get through to me personally, you say you could always email us at help. I'll forward her the email.
That one stalker keeps calling me.
Which one?
The guy who, the one with the really little boys, and he always asks for you.
Oh, Rick?
Yeah.
He is interesting. Well, I think he's an older guy. He's interesting.
Yeah, he's stubborn.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's like,
I would not be surprised if you got like roses or something delivered here. Be weird, but.
has he ever told you all he has is a radio and a hammer? That's what I used to hear from him all the time. He's like, "Sweetheart, I'm doing fine. I've got my radio and hammer, and that's all I need."
Instead, he'll call me and say, "How come Suzanne never answers the phone? How come it's always you now?" And I'm like, because it's kind of my job now. And he's like, "Well, I want to talk to Suzanne," kind of thing. It's kind of
You know the other thing, if you want, you don't have to. You can say, "Hey, she's filling in for me on the 25th. Feel free to call her then. Maybe you can get through to her."
I'm not going to do that to you, please.
Oh, that's true, huh? Good.
Yeah. I mean, we just got rid of prison guy.
Oh, yeah, that's good, Dane.
Prison.
We had to call the Boulder County Sheriff. He's call and collect here, somehow getting through, threatening to sue Kelly. Kelly's trying to be too nice to him. And finally, one day I was filling in, and I am like cussing at you motherfucker. You call here again, we're going to call the sheriff. Now I'm going to sue you for defamation. Anyway, so we ended up calling the county jail, Boulder County Jail, and all they can do is, what number is he calling? Okay, we'll put that on our list of phone numbers that can't. But the problem is nobody can call out from the building to that number.
That's fine. You don't.
Yeah, who cares, right? Like, I don't need a bunch of Boulder County inmates calling here anyway.
'Cause
Yeah,
they're
he
all
was just off the
innocent.
charts,
They're all
Jeff.
innocent. They all,
Yeah.
That guy was innocent.
Were you here that day?
He was in there for like 8 months or something.
I
They
was.
won't even let him have a trial.
And his record is
And it's not
it's
like
not
all-
good. It's not speeding tickets kind of record.
No.
It's like harassment,
Yeah.
trespassing.
Like he's doing to you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. It was nuts. But boy, I've not been that fired up in a long time. It's Cinco de Mayo. Why no tacos? The YouTubies are
All right.
about the pizza.
We should have just got a Mexican pizza.
That would have been fun, huh?
So, I don't understand this apartment thing with
Maybe some tequila, make some margaritas.
them.
Be the bartender and do that for the guys. Problem is, I'm gonna do tacos for lunch for the guys. I'm like, wait a minute, you can't have Cinco de Mayo.
I don't think anybody's listening to
You can't work on cars with the alcohol, so we'll wait till the end of the
You don't count. You count to me.
I've had so many taste and smell issues since my COVID bout in 2020. Pizza's actually starting to smell like pizza. Yeah.
Forget that shit. That's not it. Come on.
I completely lost my smell from completely. Couldn't even taste Listerine. Couldn't smell it from December 2020 to the end of February 2021. Then it went distorted, where 95% of foods and coffee, stuff I eat all the time and drink every day, I would cry because it just smelled like this burning chemical, distorted, Tom, stinks. My kids and my husband couldn't even turn the oven on for a
seconds,
frozen meal.
guys.
I couldn't cook because I.
On 630 KHOW. And you could win $5,000 now by listening to 630 KHOW on the free iHeartRadio app.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino. This hour brought to you by One Clear Choice Garage Doors. If you're looking for a great garage door company for service, installation, new doors, new openers, or emergency service, One Clear Choice Garage Doors. Now, the website is oneclearchoicedoors.com. Open 24/7 for emergency service. All their prices on the website, oneclearchoicedoors.com, 720-370-3987. Now, let's talk. We had a woman who called that I can't believe. It's so spooky. I've looked at it. It is a problem around the country when snakes get in your wall. By the way, they're garter snakes, and Jeff said they were eggs. They're not. They're live birth. He aired there. But in any case, they can lay up to 100 at a time. And when they have 100 snakes, then, my God, is that spooky. She's had people there at her house trying to get them out. She was wondering, what can I do legally? The guy sold me the house, never told me about it. But material defects are only if you know about them, especially infestation. But the neighbor said he knew about it because the contractors told him about it. So she needs to get those contractors to testify or to say on her behalf that yeah, he knew about them. This guy can't sell a house like that. And I looked up what they do about them. Have you ever heard of the snake charmers? Does it really work? That's snake charming music. I don't know. What do you think? It doesn't charm me, but anyway, there used to be all kinds of myths about charming snakes. Now, here's the deal. This is a serious problem. We're going to address it when we get our real estate attorney on. Meanwhile, Coletta's got a problem with booking. Now, let's analyze the problem. She went to Italy. She wanted to rent an apartment. She's called the night before. She goes through booking.com, and the night before, booking says the apartment won't be available. So she gets another apartment, has to pay more. How much more was the difference?
€848.
She then had to rent for that much more. Okay, now, the more money that you found, the 800, before you did this, did Booking say they could find you one for the same price?
They said they had found me a similar accommodation. And
Now,
it was
what's
not
840
similar.
euro?
It was the same.
What did that cost you?
It's about a little over $900. Well, it depends on the exchange rate.
Well, that's
Then
fine.
it
I
was
mean, just
almost
roughly.
1-to-1.
Okay, so now you
$900.
feel Booking is responsible. Now, if Booking screwed it up, they would be responsible.
Mm-hmm.
If the landlord simply pulled the rug out from under them, you know, it's really whose fault is it? They're not automatically responsible to you unless they've done something wrong. So what makes you
The thing I was
think...
trying to...
I'm just curious. What makes you think that they are
that
responsible?
they ought to pay me back, because they said they would find a similar place. They found a place with a similar cost.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
difference.
is that they... Okay, let's talk about in general. Forget about finding you another place. What if they said to you, the landlord canceled? They said it's not going to be available. There's nothing we can do about it. Okay, then why are they responsible to you? Why do you suspect it was canceled? Give me that first. Because you can't just hold somebody to blame because they were in the chain of commerce. We have to have a reason. So, why do you feel, I'm asking you, that Booking is responsible?
Yeah. Because they had offered me a similar place, and then it wasn't a similar. Well, here's another thing. Here's really the key to it. They had said that I can't get a refund from them because I didn't call them within 30 minutes of them sending me their email about the cancellation.
Coletta, none of that matters. What I'm asking you is, why are they responsible? Are they the ones that screwed up the reservation and never alerted the landlord, or did they do something wrong? That's what because none of that other stuff matters. If you say, well, I didn't know I had to call in the first 30 minutes, I mean, you're off on an argument that doesn't matter. The essence of the argument is this: whose fault, whose breach was it? Was it the landlord's breach and Booking was a victim too? Or was it Booking who screwed up? What happened? That's what you have to find out. What happened?
Got it. Booking said to me that the apartment wouldn't be available because of overbooking. That's
okay, but who overbooked it? If Booking overbooked it, then it's their problem. Did they overbook it?
I understand. I don't know. How would I find that out? They're going to tell me that? I don't think so.
Well, one way you could find out, Booking.com. Do they have an agent here in Colorado where you can sue them in small claims court for the $900? And then they would have to say, well, we're not responsible. We're not the one who did it. I mean, I don't know. Or who is the landlord? Who's the management company? Do you know?
It seemed to be an individual person. I actually emailed her. No, I called her that night and asked her if it was really true that this had happened. And she said, yeah, it's overbooked. She said that when she checked her computer that night, that I got the cancellation notice, when she checked her computer, she saw that she had overbooked. But I had
Hold on. She had overbooked. Okay. She's responsible.
She said because of overbooking.
No, you just said she had overbooked. So who had overbooked?
Right.
See, Coletta, I know that in our world of somebody better pay, that's what we think, but there's got to be reasonable assumptions behind it. So you have to do some legwork, and you have to figure out, first of all, who's responsible. That's what you really have to do. If this woman neglected to keep track of her rental and left it as vacant for Booking, Booking's not at fault. If Booking assumed it was vacant because they forgot to write down that it was booked, then it's Booking's problem. But you have to do the legwork. No one else can do it. And I don't know how else we force someone to give you the money if we can't show them they were at fault. And we'd call this person. First of all, are they in Italy, the ones who rented it to you, the actual owners in Italy, or are they U.S. owners or what?
Italy.
Okay. And you spoke to her.
I did.
You have her number.
I do.
Call her back and ask her. Just say in a nice way, look, this vacation cost me $800, $900 more. I'm just, or just say I'm curious because say this maybe. I'm curious because if I go on a vacation again, I want to kind of prevent this from happening. Was it Booking that did this to you? Or did you inadvertently double book it? I mean, I wouldn't give her a preview that you're looking for the money. I would just ask as an educational thing, and then call us back. We would, this is the problem, as I said. Not always is there a bad guy we can go after. Now, in this case, there will be a bad guy, but it might be impractical to go after someone in Italy at this point. Booking might be, Booking.com might be easier. Did Booking say, did you contact him? What did they say when you asked for money? What did they say?
They said that they couldn't give me a refund because I didn't call them within 30 minutes.
Oh, that's just, you see, that's just subterfuge. That doesn't mean anything. What difference would it make if you called within 30 minutes? That's just a way of putting you off. And see, this is the problem with that, Coletta. Let me explain this. When companies do that, they give you a bone that then you go out and you start gnawing on this bone. Well, 30 minutes, blah, blah. And it has nothing to do with 30 minutes. So...
Right. That's why I'm thinking they're responsible. But I understand what you're saying.
But even if they lied about the 30 minutes, even if they said we would have given you the money back had you called in 30 minutes, it doesn't matter because it wasn't within 30 minutes. Okay? So, and by the way, is that policy written somewhere about that 30 minutes?
Not that I have found, and I brought that up with them. And the supervisor, the one supervisor I talked with, just went round in circles with me. So
see, Coletta, they got you gnawing on the bone, and here's why. Let's just say they finally come back to you and say, Coletta, we're wrong. We wouldn't have given you your money back, even if you did call within 30 minutes. Okay, then what? What does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean what? Nothing. It means nothing. You still have the central issue. Who's responsible? See, they got you off on some sidetrack, on some bunny trail. Well, I want to know, do I really have to call within 30 minutes? They could say, no, you don't have to, actually. You could call any time, but we're still not going to give your money back. See, that's the point.
In the email, they said, if I like the option that they've offered me, to please follow the link above. And
what
if
option?
you incur additional charges, send us an invoice.
What option?
The option of their alternative lodging.
What was wrong with their alternative lodging? What was wrong with it?
Well, it was over a mile and a half away from where we wanted to be. We were walking. We didn't have a car and had planned to stay. The first place was within 1,000 feet of the Coliseum. The other place was all the way on the other side of the river by the, by the Vatican. But that was just, the location was just the one thing. The other thing is the rating on Booking.com for the first place, the apartment, was 9.6. The one they offered me was a 7.9.
So did you tell them it wasn't acceptable at the time they sent it to you?
No, I didn't get back in touch with them, and that's what they're hanging their hat on.
Well, that would have been, I mean, why didn't you? I'm just curious. I'm not saying that you have a right, that they have a right not to pay you or a right to pay you. I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just asking, why didn't you get back to them?
Because I didn't want that place, and I didn't know that I was supposed to get back to them. I thought, I'm just going to do this on my own. I'm going to start looking. Well, here's the thing. When I started looking for another place in the same area...
You kind of took on the responsibility. You really took on that responsibility at that point. I'm not saying you had to call them, but certainly you should have at least given them the opportunity. I mean, it's logical to me that you would say, by the way, I don't want this place. Do you have anything better? I'm going to go book myself. I mean, that's the part I don't understand.
I was in shock. I was truly in shock.
No, and I don't blame you. I know, you're in Rome and you don't know where the hell you're going to be. I get it.
And we don't speak the language, exactly. And we were charged 1,660 euros for the first place, a two-bedroom apartment. Anything comparable in that same area was over $6,000.
Gosh.
Between $6,000 and $8,000 to rent. So there was no way that we could do that. So I just wanted to, I was scrambling. I wanted to get a place for my husband and me to stay for the next night, and then a two-bedroom place for when my brother came in the next day. So I just wanted to take care of it.
Listen. Here's what we have to do. We have to figure out, you have to call that owner and call us back or figure out at least if they were the least bit kind of responsible. Okay, 303-713-8255. More coming right up.
Want to learn how to make more money in 2023 by helping more
Where's
people?
Mark?
Go to Pips Path Tour Denver on June 3rd. Learn to share
Donor
the wealth
and call us back or figure out
investing from
at
the
least
best real estate minds. Get
Where's Mark?
motivated by
He's serving somebody, according
Okay.
to Cal.
Young, HGTV,
And you got 10 seconds and it's all you.
and America's #1 comedic thought leader, Michael Jr. You can go alone, but you can go farther with us. Go to pipspathtour.com and get on the path today.
K&H Home Solutions is the oldest home improvement company in Colorado, and we love representing them. And in May, a month of celebrations, including Mother's Day, Cinco de Mayo, which is, by the way, today, and Memorial Day. All these May celebrations, they want to celebrate with 30% off Softlight and Provia windows, maintenance-free windows, 30% off Elegant Provia entry doors, maintenance-free, and 30% off maintenance-free Diamond Coat or James Hardy siding. Do you get the message? Free up your time. Get maintenance-free stuff from a company that I know and love. Need roofing too? 15% off khwindows.com, 303-421-7100. Now, let's also talk about something else that I love to talk about, and that is RVs. You know what? Century RV will buy your used RVs. That's right, even if you don't want to trade them in. Or they have spectacular deals on new RVs. Now, you may want a Class A, you may want a bumper pull, you may want a fifth wheel or a pop-up. They have them all. What a great selection, CentryRV.com, and great prices and a fantastic maintenance facility. That's 303-453-1111, exit 240 and I-25. May 25th is the date for our seminar on growing older and being secure with finances. That includes insurance, that includes investments, that includes income for life, that includes anything that confronts you as you get older, including Medicare and Medicaid and possibly, of course, or you need help with Social Security. All of this will be the topic. All you have to do is come May 25th to find out more. BecomeTheBanker.org, 303-779-6600. Frank Duran, the real estate man, you just heard on the show, and he was our expert when it comes to what has to be disclosed when it comes to real estate. You know, Frank will consult you free of charge if you call him on a personal consultation on what your house will sell for and what the market looks like for your house. He'll base it on comparables, supply and demand, and the rest. All you have to do is call him, 303-920-1622. No obligation. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Will Mark be back today or not?
He said he was going to be.
All right. Because he had said something about... Okay.
I was so irritated by it. Basically, he bought a car. It was complete crap. Just complete crap. First time customer, obviously. Had us do an inspection. Brakes are metal to metal, you know, and there's all kinds of suspensions crap. Valve covers are just pissing. So we get into it. We do the brakes, we do this, and we tell them, and we pull the valve cover off, and we're like, see all this sludge build up, and we stop right there. Call the customer. You need to know what's going on in your vehicle. Told them what's going on. Told them we could stop right then and there. And you'll just know to what we've done at that point. he's like, oh, it's okay, and he doesn't have a choice. So he was like, well, just go ahead, do it. So then we do it, and I make sure we put disclaimers on the digital vehicle inspection. What was sent to the customer, what was in the invoice.
Hey, Tommy.
Yeah.
Mark is saying, please tell Tom to use the number I've sent 3 times now for Become the Banker and do a correction on the air. He said that needed to be handled ASAP. That was a text I got.
Okay. When is Mark going to be back?
Let me see what his ETA.
And we didn't do any of those cleaners or things done. We just like 5 things. Valve covers, get the leak done, other things, leave it alone.
He's here.
Gave him a choice on an engine as well. And, the car went kaput.
He's just, I think he's on a phone call, so hang on.
No, it's not a big deal, but I'm going to have carpet cleaners showing up for upstairs, and I just have to go greet them.
Oh, gotcha. You're not going to ask me to do this, are you? Woo! I'll have a panic attack, Tommy.
As soon as
Mark
you got
better
it.
get his ass up here
No,
right
it's
now.
not right now, but it's
Oh,
probably
I'm gonna
within a half hour maybe
Call
or so.
Bonnie Shields or something.
Paperwork to go on Judge Judy. That's why you transferred to LA.
Oh.
For a night.
God. Yeah, there was another judge that reached out to me when they saw my small claims on I think it was AT&T or Verizon.
One
I
of
did a
those,
small
yeah.
claims
Yeah.
on.
Is my camera
Did you
off?
come to our show?
Yeah.
Did you end up doing it?
No.
Is my camera off, guys?
Oh,
Do
you-
you know?
No, you're there.
No.
Okay, good. Okay, because the light went off. So as long as I'm there, I'm fine.
And win or lose, the show pays the
Just let me know if there's any problem and I'll reconnect it.
lose $5,000.
I see it frozen, by the way.
Oh, you are frozen.
Okay, let me go redo it.
Yeah, you're frozen holding your glasses to your head.
But I told the mediator, I'm like, look, I'm not bending on this. Like, if you sue me for $7,000 for a car that's worth maybe 2, if you could afford.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Yes, I got the message that my camera is frozen. I rebooted it. 303-713-8255. Let's talk to Keith about the concealed carry permit umbrella policies and the such and liability and all of that. Go ahead, Keith, what did you want to say about that? Somebody asked about insurance for those who carry guns and what's available, and people have given 2 recommendations, but Compass said their homeowners probably would not cover them. Go ahead, Keith.
So here's my question is I have a $2 million, I'm a truck driver, and if something bad should happen out here when they get through with my company, they're going to come after me. So I have a $2 million umbrella through our homeowners.
Right.
So you're saying then that what would be that's my question is that would just be another umbrella policy, right?
Well, hold on. The concealed carry coverage is very specific. It is not just an umbrella. If you do have an umbrella, the question is, does the umbrella cover the excess liability for a gun claim? That we need to ask Compass Insurance Group. Kelly, that's a good one. While regular homeowners will not cover the liability, let's ask them if an umbrella policy would cover any excess liability above and beyond a concealed carry insurance. Like, would that be, because you know damn well they're going to sue the umbrella coverage. You know they are. If they know you have an umbrella policy, they don't know what the contract says to you. They're going to sue to find out. And by the way, that seminar that I said coming up for Become the Banker to find out about, finances in your older age, income, disability insurance, regular insurance, long-term care insurance, Medicare, also Social Security. The number to call for reservations specifically is 303-800-2919. 303-800-2919. 303-800-2919 or becomethebanker.org. I'd given out their regular office number before. Okay, so John's got an issue with a contractor. Let's talk about that. John, what's going on with you?
Yeah, I have a property down in southeast Colorado, and I hired a contractor on the 15th of November, gave him a $7,000 deposit for a new septic that was going to be $15,000. He said it was going to be after Thanksgiving, the second week of December, he would have it finished. And then Christmas came, and then it was cold, and then he got sick. And
now, when did you pay? You paid this back in November?
November the 15th with a check, yes, $7,000.
Wow. Okay, and what happened?
Well, he's been just giving me different, reasons why he's not able to do it. He'll get it next week.
So he's never started, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Correct. And the $7,000 was to buy the septic tank and stuff.
Well, let me explain something to you. Let me explain something. I'm going to tell you what happened because I know 99% of these contractors. He spent the money and now he can't buy the stuff.
Correct.
And probably he doesn't have the money to pay you back. So you got taken. And that's the problem. Now, I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm not saying there's nothing we can do about it. I don't know anything about this guy. What's the name of the contractor?
Walters Excavating.
And how did you find Walters Excavating?
It was actually when I called down to Bent County, they suggested him as one of the contractors that does work for them.
We should have, listen, here's what we're going to do. We need to have somebody call him and see if we can scare him a little, because under the Contractors Trust Act, if he doesn't come through or if he doesn't have that money, it becomes a criminal offense in some cases.
Okay.
So let's give this to Deputy Dollar to call him. Kachina, let's give this to Deputy Dollar. And let's call this guy. And then I'm going to mark it as a possible sleaze brigade here. For sure. 303-713-TALK. Brian Burns, Compass Insurance Group. So, Brian, regular homeowners won't cover you if you shoot someone with a concealed carry while you're at a 7-Eleven and somebody's trying to rob it. Right?
Well, first of all, yeah, your homeowner's liability is not just bound to your home. It does extend to wherever you're at. So, depending on the circumstance, it could. The way you just phrased it, I don't know, because, intentional acts or punitive damage, those kind of things are never going to be covered underneath the liability.
But you understand what I'm saying. This is somebody who's protecting themselves. This is
right.
Self.
Yeah, right.
So could it cover someone under self-defense?
Yes, it could.
Okay, next question. Then people have specialty coverage for concealed carry. And what I'd like to know, if they have a concealed carry policy and the liability goes beyond that, would an umbrella policy cover homeowners?
Only if the umbrella named that policy as an underlying policy, which I would say you would need to get a specialty umbrella policy for that. I've never done it, so I'm not going to be an expert on this, but you would need, the only way an umbrella extends is if the underlying policy is listed on the policy. Okay.
So in other words, then, it only extends those listed on the policy, which means if you list the concealed carry on their coverage, they could very well not take the business.
Right, they could underwrite and say, "What is this policy? Oh, yeah, we won't extend over that." That could be the reality of it. Yeah.
And do they even ever ask if people or homeowners own guns or have permits when you're writing a policy?
Nope, not even a question on it. The only reason you ask about guns if you're wanting coverage for the actual physical guns on a homeowner policy, because they are, there's very limited coverage for firearms. So if you want your firearms covered for theft or whatever, you would need to schedule them on.
Okay, Brian, thank you very much. Compass Insurance Group, home of the objective and honest checkup on insurance to make sure you're not underinsured, overinsured, or paying too much. 303-996-9000. More coming right up.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW, Denver.
My camera's still not up, guys. I turned it on. I rebooted it.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
Hectic driving throughout the Denver Metro all day, and the fun doesn't stop for the noon hour. I-25 northbound before Colfax, we've got a crash with stopping-go traffic back from Lincoln and Broadway, about 5 minutes of delayed driving. Heading out east to the Aurora area, I-225 northbound before I-70, a brand-new crash, stop-and-go traffic back from...
I just want to double-check. You've restarted it?
Some delays for folks heading to
so it's
the
ready to be found
DIA area. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, another warm one today. Partly cloudy skies with highs in the mid-70s. Overnight low of 41 degrees. And we're starting a trend of highs in the 70s with cloudy skies throughout the rest of the week. The current temperature in Denver is 72 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
This week on Red...
All right, you're up next, Tom. 10 seconds.
Intelligence be stopped. To find the answer, we speak to an AI expert who tells us where AI is going. Listen to Red Pilled America on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get podcasts. That's Red Pilled America.
You know, there is not one approach that works when it comes to addiction issues, whether it's substance abuse, illegal drugs, prescription drugs, or alcohol. That's why at theraleighouse.com they have a bunch of different therapies: cognitive behavioral therapy, 12-step meetings, animal-assisted therapy, art therapy, yoga and meditation, even rock climbing, family systems, nutrition, horticulture, medication, motivational meetings. Listen, they do what it takes, and they have multiple locations, including a rural setting. I know these people from the beginning. They're good people, and they work with your insurance. I want you to call theraleighouse.com. That's RALEIGH, theraleighouse.com, 720-891-4657, 720-891-4657. Hey, if you're looking for countertops of any kind, the Art of Granite can accommodate you. Yeah, it says granite, but they can do anything. Stone, natural stone, engineered stone, man-made materials, and they'll give you prices on the phone. Their system is very easy. They charge for fabrication and installation, but it's cost on materials for the countertops, and tear out and hallways free. The bathroom's free when you have the kitchen done. Get your price right now. They are spectacular. TheArtOfGranite.com. 303-386-5919.
Your mom.
How much time, bro?
Tom?
Yeah.
Hello, Tom?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so I think the only thing I can do right now is log out of vMix and log back into vMix, but that means stopping and restarting the stream. So YouTube is probably going to have to be notified.
No, Mark said there's a way to find the camera. He'll have to tell you. He has a way of doing that before. I understand what you're saying, Kelly.
Of your camera?
What's that?
Do you know the name of your camera?
Yeah, it's Mevo.
Yeah, I know that, but I mean, it's different on the...
Oh, I'm sorry.
On
Listen,
vMix.
I know that Mark has a way of finding it
Yeah,
somehow
I know how
because...
to do that too. Let me try that. Okay. Hang on.
No, we definitely had some issues moving the two shops together because you get both outfits coming together.
Yeah, I'm sorry it screwed up, guys.
All good.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, thanks.
I'm gonna try that.
And one of the guys did move to Aurora because he didn't get along with one of the guys in Lakewood that was moving back 2 years later. You know, so yeah, there was issues. But mechanics are whiners anyway.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like the problem, so much of it is the problem is unlike an electrician or, you know, no welder, there's a public, I think, disrespect for it.
Sure.
Because, oh, anyone can do this. Oh, I can do this.
I do it on the weekends.
Yeah,
It's nothing.
yeah, it's no big deal. So there's not a respect for the trade. And so I think a lot of technicians and mechanics today, it's one thing if you've been in the industry for a while, but especially once coming in, there's that Napoleon complex of, well, I have to prove myself.
But it's the same in a lot of trades. A lot of the mechanics and techs, you know, over the years, they don't improve.
Yeah.
You know, they don't better themselves. They just, you know. like Napa's classes and all this stuff, you know, those classes should be full. And there's nobody there.
I can't tell you how much I interviewed candidates.
Hey, Tommy,
Yeah.
your camera's still frozen.
It's not on me. I'm seeing it. It's she's trying to find it. I rebooted it. It's working here fine. They just have to redo it in vMix. She has to delete it and get it again.
Oh, gotcha.
Sorry.
I think she's done that. No, it's okay. I just didn't know if you knew, and I don't know where Mark is, so I will put on the screen as soon as he gets in here.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
I was fortunate because I started turning around right around 81, and that's when the feedback stuff was coming out. So I was starting when that was starting. So it wasn't, I didn't have to learn new stuff. I was learning that stuff. There's a lot of old timers who just,
Hey, Jeff, I was watching not Hell's Kitchen, Next Level Chef. Finally learned what a squab was. I never knew. Do you know what a squab is? You hunt and all that. So, I mean, I mean, you know a lot of games, seem to. I just never knew what a squab was. It's a baby pigeon. It's even worse.
All right, 15 seconds there,
Oh,
Tom.
gosh. Oh, hi, Dragon.
Home Improvements. Now is the time to call and save a full 12% off all services for select install dates. 800-362-8370 or drhi.com.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Lines are open finally where you can talk and see what's on your mind. It is car day today. By the way, I want to talk to my transmission guys. We got Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission. We have Tom at Advanced Transmission Center. One question I get a lot, and it just came up again in a text message about people have... They use all kinds of terms, and yet what do they mean? Here's what I'm talking about specifically. People say, I got a new transmission. Now, what they mean often is either refurbished, used, rebuilt. Now, those are three different categories. I would say refurbished would be more like a remove and exchange, right? It's refurbished from a factory or a manufacturer, whereas a rebuilt is taking yours and rebuilding it. Would you guys agree?
Well, they're basically the same process. I mean, refurbished to me indicate, you know, at a factory level where they actually got it and they change everything else, everything in it except for the case itself. Rebuilding, you're still getting the same product, you're still getting the same reliability, but we're most commonly able to save you money under the cost of that box unit.
So rebuilding you can do at your own shop, and of course it can also be called refurbished. What about used transmissions? Aren't you just trading in one pack of problems for future problems?
Yeah, we call them junkyards for a reason.
That's right. And at least at our shops, you know, we tell folks that there's, you know, all kinds of places around the country that have, you know, floods or this or that, and ultimately these vehicles go into some junkyard, and yeah, the transmission's said to be good, but that's until you put it in and the vehicle doesn't work.
I would say the only time I would consider that is if it was a late model car, and let's say that the transmission doesn't have a lot of miles on it, and the car was totaled, and then the salvage yard has a transmission. That would be okay, right?
As long as you can guarantee the information you're being given is accurate.
Yeah, I guess that would be with VIN numbers and stuff to see. I don't know. Can you look at a transmission from a salvage yard? Can you look at it and tell?
Not without opening it up, no.
And at least at our shop, one of the things that we tell folks is even if it's a late model, you don't know how long something's been sitting somewhere. It's maybe been pulled out and it's been compromised in some fashion. It can come to our shop. We might be able to drop the pan, and we've done this in the past where we can see that it's been contaminated with water, and how that impacts, for example, the electronics can be dire.
So when it comes to what is your preference? Do you like the shops that order a transmission that's refurbished and they put it in and exchange yours, or do you like rebuilding it?
At least in my opinion, I think it's great to have both options because there's so many vehicles, there's so many different models, and there's customer preference and their ability to pay for a rebuild versus a remanufactured versus even a dealer one. So for us, it used to be a simpler question and a simpler answer. Today, we just want to have options and cater to the guest and the situation.
And there's also people that definitely like to customize them, particularly if you're getting into some of the more sporty vehicles or trucks. Trucks are real common. People like to, I want a harder shift. I want to raise line pressure. I want to do all this, that, and the other thing. That's just something you're not going to get out of a box.
Okay, now, correct me if I'm wrong. With an electric car, there is no transmission. Is that true? Nothing.
Correct. It's just a final drive. Yeah.
It's just a direct drive.
Yep.
Do you still have the transfer case, though? Obviously, no. Yes.
You have direct drive motors go out to the wheels.
So there's not even a transfer case or a pumpkin, so to speak.
No, there is a final drive. There is a pumpkin.
Okay.
So, but it is not like a conventional vehicle. They are definitely different.
Someone wants to know about. And maybe this is for Kevin. Kevin, somebody asked this, and I don't know the answer. They have an RV. Can you tow an electric car?
I imagine you can, but yeah, that's a good question.
It would have to have a total disengagement. I mean, you wouldn't want that motor turning. You'd be generating electricity.
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
I mean, right? A motor is a generator, really, if you think about it when it runs the other way. I mean, I'm just wondering if anyone listening knows if you can tow.
Yeah, if it's front wheel, it's not all wheel. You can get front wheels off the ground.
Well, sure, one way or the other. 303-713-8255. We have more coming up. I want to talk about 888heating.com. They have they have some major brands air conditioners that they guarantee the lowest price with the same product. So if you're looking for an AC replacement, check them out. That's 888heating.com, which is the website. The number is 303-770-2776, 770-2776.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Truth with Lisa
Will
Booth
Mark
podcast.
be back
Hectic driving throughout the day, and the fun doesn't.
Yeah, look at the screen. Jeez.
Yeah,
on,
it's
Colfax
okay,
has got
I
a
got
crash.
it now. I'm sorry, I wasn't refreshed.
It's all good.
Of delayed driving heading out to the
Blame Kelly.
I-225 northbound before I-70, a brand new crash. Stop and go traffic back from 6th Avenue, about 15 minutes of delays for folks heading to the DIA area. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, another warm one today. Partly cloudy skies with highs in the mid-70s, overnight low of 41 degrees. And we're starting a trend of highs in the 70s with cloudy skies throughout the rest of the week. The current temperature in Denver is 72 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Bud Light recently came under
10 seconds there, Tommy.
influencer Dylan Mulvaney. Will Hill, the Executive Director of Consumers Research, joins me on The Truth with Lisa Booth. And listen to The Truth with Lisa Booth every Monday and Thursday, but you can listen throughout the week on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Euro Plumbing, the best deals ever when it comes to water heaters. Oh my gosh, you can't beat them. $11.99. Oh no, $12.99. That is for a 40-gallon fully replaced, and that's the old one taken away. $13.99 for a 50-gallon. That includes new water lines, new gas flex line, and they're so proud of their deals. EuroPlumbingColorado.net. All you have to do is give them a call. Say, I want the best deal, and no matter what size they say, they will have the best deal. 303-668-6844, 668-6844. Hey, Harris Family Law, does family law, and they have podcasts that you can look up or webinars at harrisfamilylaw.com/webinars. But listen, they also do estate planning. That's with or without the family planning or the family law option. You can just go straight for wills, trusts, facing probate, avoiding probate, planning your estate. They have a complete estate planning department at Harris Family Law, 303-515-5000. Plumbing, heating, cooling. Hello? Hello?
Yeah?
I had another spot.
I'm sorry. That's on me.
How do we do that now?
I'll stop it here after this.
All right. Let me hear it, though, so I know when to
With over 900...
Yeah, 10 seconds, buddy. Sorry.
There's over 7,600...
I blame Shannon.
20 odds of winning. Last chance. Final deadline midnight tonight. Buy now at MightyMillionsRaffle.com.
You know, Vital Home Services like plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. You want a company that knows it all, bonded, insured, licensed, and somebody who will come out for a predictable cost and find the problem. That's Fix It 24/7. You'll never pay more than $39 to find a problem, and to get a complete solution written estimate, that's $39. Now, once you get that, if you decide to have the work done, they even refund the $39. So, it's a very predictable cost. Fix It 24/7. FixMyHome.com. 720-526-3939.
There are 5.
There, I'll do it right that
Thanks,
time.
sorry.
Not you, it's all me.
I use 2 cups of brown fucking sugar,
Oh,
and I will not eat them now. I'm dying for
2 cups?
2 cups
They're
of
good.
brown sugar.
Hey, we smoked, he smoked us boneless, I bought boneless chicken thighs for a recipe. Didn't use them, so he smoked them. A couple days
1
ago.
hour.
They were so good.
They're really good.
1 hour.
Yeah, thighs are great.
Oh,
Yeah.
heaven.
'Cause they hold that moisture so well. I just use that Texas sugar rub. I love that rub.
I use a little of that, but what I do now is I'll do the Texas sugar rub on it. Then I'll cook them 2 hours, about 250. I'll pull them out. I'll lay out tin foil.
Oh, you do the wrap?
I'll put a full cup, 2 cups of brown sugar, and then I'll put about 10 slabs of butter, and then flip the ribs upside down on it, wrap them. 2 hours later, fall off the bone, sugary sweet.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get the spice down right to give them a little heat. The sugar absolutely eats the heat, so I got to get something stronger.
The one rub he has is the something.
Fucking meat church guy. I love
Yeah,
it.
because he's got one that's got jalapeno powder in it. And what I do is I put that on the backside, and then put the Texas sugar on the meat side, so you can get that. You get that just a little
Both
bit of.
sides. Actually, that's pretty smart. I might try that. Yeah, because I don't put. One time I put butter and brown sugar on the opposite side, but usually I don't because it's just enough on the one.
I haven't been wrapping mine here lately.
It
I do
melts into the
No, I know what it is.
glaze.
Oh yeah, no, I've done it.
I thought you were low carb.
Well, that's why you won't eat the ribs.
That's why I'm going fucking crazy right now.
I do 3 hours at 250, and then a little bit of sauce, and then another 30 minutes, and call it.
We did a whole bird within the last week. So, you know, beer can.
Yep.
Delicious, absolutely delicious. And cooked it in 2 hours. It tasted like it was on a rotisserie.
Kevin, I wanted to do a smoked turkey breast.
Turkeys are great.
I love smoked turkey. Smoked turkey anything. Doesn't even have to be a boob.
Well, you spatchcock the turkey so it lays flat, and you can cook it in about 2.5, 3 hours. Look on
Just
Meat
right-
Church.
just when you buy, you know what I'll do? I'll do the smoked turkey when we do the.
Chicken?
No, not chicken. When I do a.
Oh,
beef,
brisket
a
or
brisket.
something. I don't like smoked beef too much.
I'm a Texas boy. That's all I want.
Yeah, salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper. All this
That's it.
sugar
And
stuff.
then your
on my hand.
choice of sauce later. Yep.
The honey hog barbecue.
I'm into the Carolina mustard.
I have some.
Well, there's 2 of them, honey hog and then honey hog
You don't like mustard?
That's not
with the
barbecue.
jalapeno.
As long as we
I
say it's
haven't
not
had
barbecue, that's fine.
You know who?
15 seconds, everybody.
Text and now talk back anytime with our free iHeartRadio app while streaming KHOW and the full screen player. Just click the microphone to record your message. Talk back to Denver's talk station now.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. One of the topics visited today had to do with concealed carry insurance and whether homeowners covers it. Now, Compass Insurance says your homeowners would cover some liability under certain circumstances. You know, if it's not a wanton crime, illegal, breaking the law. And then some even umbrella policies would cover it if you named it as one of the policies in your umbrella and the umbrella people accepted it. George has a comment on concealed carry permit insurance. Go ahead, George.
Hey, thanks, Tom. So a few things to clarify that's critical for listeners. First off, a lot of these plans, and the one I go with is CCW Safe, and I would highly, highly recommend it. It's far superior than others. Doesn't just deal with concealed carry. It deals with the use of deadly force. And the plan I have, since I'm personally a concealed carrier, but my wife is not, I carry a family plan that carries me and my spouse. And it used to carry my son before he was an adult. It would carry him if he's an adult. He's still under 21. So, but if and secondly, you don't need to be a CCW carrier. Remember, it's just use of force, deadly force. And you don't have to be a carrier to use that deadly force in self-defense. You could be in your home and have a firearm and legally self-defend with that firearm or a knife. This covers you with any legal weapon, period. And there's no maximums. It pays for everything up front.
Who determines if it was self-defense or not?
Well, ultimately, the jury.
Yeah, no. I'm saying, but you're saying they give you an attorney, correct?
They will supply an attorney of your choice. How do they
determine? Listen, please. How do they determine whether enough to supply you with an attorney? If I say it's self-defense and the cops say I walked over and shot my neighbor in the head, do I get an attorney? That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
Wow. I'm signing up.
Yes, and that's why CCW Safe. There was a recent case years ago with a woman who she had a contract with a different. It's not really insurance, but most people refer to it as insurance with a different company, and they did not pay for her full defense. These folks will give you up to $1.5 million bond. They will unlimited for your initial stuff, which could be up to like $200. You could spend hundreds of thousands of dollars before you even go to trial. They'll pay for investigations. They'll pay for
holy crap!
The trial. They will pay for an appeal. They have and let me tell you something. These attorneys.
It sounds fantastic. I mean, I find it hard to believe.
Well,
which company was this,
Safe
Doug?
is the company, and you will. And listen, I pay for, like I said, if you're just a single person, it's like $200 for their top plan. I have the ultimate plan, which covers myself as a carrier and my wife, so I pay about $500. In addition to that, I contract with a local guy who's probably one of the best, one of maybe three top attorneys who know self-defense law, Andrew Branca. The website is Law of Self-Defense. It's a lot. I've learned from him for the last 10 years. Incredible stuff on his YouTube and his Law of Self-Defense.
What do you do
channel.
with him? What do you mean you contract with him?
Well, all his stuff is available. 90% of his stuff is available for free. But I contract with him so that if God forbid anything ever happens where I have to use deadly force, he is available to consult for free, under that contract.
We get you, man. We get you. So listen,
so often what that means is that he will write up a whole
we got to run.
Description of his analysis of it and submit it to the process.
We have more coming up. I'm sorry, George, we're running out of time. 303-713-8255.
Hey. Yeah, I didn't catch the name of the company.
I didn't either. Yeah.
So each one of them's a little bit different.
Yeah. Well, that's why you can't rely on your homeowners, because the criminal charge that's coming in.
And your homeowners isn't going to provide you a legal defense.
For criminals.
And I have
only on the liability side.
They only cover
not the criminal.
Right, but your concealed carry also carries a liability insurance along with it. It provides your legal defense until it's all said and done. Doesn't matter the flipping cost. there are some exclusions that, hey, if you did this, this, or this, we may walk away from you.
Like you walked up to someone and shot him.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely.
How much was yours?
I want to say for my wife and I, it's like $35 a month or something like that. Because she just has it pulled out on her credit card every month. So.
I mean, that's a real amount.
But I think it's $1 million in liability insurance. It might be.
I
more
just
than
didn't
that.
know how they define self-defense. I'm thinking like in New York, that guy in the bodega who gets held up and almost killed, he shoots him. They said that wasn't self-defense.
Well, see, and it doesn't necessarily have to be self-defense if you've used deadly force. So if you're at the shopping mall, okay, like that kid here a couple of years ago that ended up plinking that guy inside the mall as everybody's scurrying away, he would have been covered. Under my plan. Under another
Even
plan,
though
he
it
might not
wasn't
have been.
self-defense for him.
Right. It was you can extend the defense to an individual.
How do you think your coverage would have worked for the guy on the subway? Because he's got the guy in the headlock.
I don't know.
Yeah, is that a deadly weapon? I mean, that's
Well, it's the use of deadly force. He
Use
still
of
used
deadly
deadly force.
force.
Yeah.
I wonder
I
stand
bet
your
it would.
ground,
Huh?
stand your ground versus self-defense. There's
Mhm.
a little bit of a difference there. So, someone walks onto your lawn, you shoot them.
Well, you can shoot him on the lawn, but then you got to drag him into the front
Yeah.
door.
Well, yeah, no, yes, they can sue you if your dog bites you. So I got news for you. My dog ever bites you, I'm dragging your ass into the house and I'm going to shoot you. Be
Can
nice.
you imagine that? The cops show up and you can see the guy's heel prints going through the front door.
Why are there dog bites on him? My dog held him while I went to get the gun.
I told my dog not to drag him in the house.
And then when he got here, he wouldn't leave.
We're looking up pictures, Mark, of a dog that Tom has.
That Tom has? Oh, what do you got?
Cane Corso Great Dane.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, man.
Big Roman war dog, basically. That's
Yeah.
a goofball and a killer.
I can picture that dog.
We're talking. I've ran into
They
one when I
only
was
live
walking my
like, what,
dog.
8 years?
So Great Danes are 5'6". Cane Corsos can go 9'10".
Okay.
And she eats better than most human beings. So she'll hopefully be on the latter end.
We found that with our dogs. Our dogs eat very well, and they have lasted. Our last Doberman, 16 years, man, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
But she's eating good food. I mean.
And I mean, I think diet is one thing, but I grew up with dogs, and our dogs just stayed in the backyard. That's it. That's how they were raised. Now we live next to a big park, Inspiration Point. Every day the dog's out there running, has dog friends, constantly gets attention. We go to the mountain host, chasing after deer. So, I mean, between exercise and diet,
Ours has 6 acres fenced in, both of them, and then of course to keep them occupied back there is wild turkeys, deer, and all kinds of.
Go get some
critters.
rabbits once in a while, throw them back there.
Oh God, I don't have to throw them back there. They're there. And then she runs them virtually 5 times a week for 3 to 4 miles. And then both of us will walk them occasionally now that summer's back. I mean, ours get a ton of exercise.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a big part too. Our beagle that we had with that Doberman, he lived pretty old too, man, 15, 16, but he came into the house one day, he ripped his ACL. His leg was like this.
Just hanging on.
Just hanging. I'm going, what the hell? So we get him up to the vet. Sure enough, had the surgery done, and they take literally fishing line because he was under 40 pounds. They can use fishing line and go in there and just recreate. But he wouldn't rehab. He just wouldn't rehab. I'd sit there when at first and do everything I was supposed to. He just wouldn't use a leg anymore. He was like, fuck it, I ain't using it. So he quit running. Hell, he quit going down the stairs. He quit doing everything. But he still lived another what? He lived till 16. He lived another 7, 8 years on 3 legs. Ugh. I got no energy either, man. No carbs. My body's going, where the fuck's the fuel?
Yeah, that's where getting into actual ketosis makes a world of a difference.
Oh, my piss smells like fucking horrible. Horrible. It's so strong. Aren't you glad you know that?
Yeah.
Mark, I got to
It's crazy.
answer the door.
It's like almost like a
Mark.
ammonia.
He's got to answer the door.
Hey, Dragon, I got to answer the door.
Gotcha, buddy.
Seriously. Come on, babe.
I'm not doing that. Come on. What am I going to do? I'm going to sound like an
No, you're not going to sound like an idiot. You've only heard it from both of us 800
You
times.
don't even have a mic to... I'm not going to do it, baby.
Just come back in and say it's car day and then start talking to these guys. Come on. Snap to it.
Screw this up.
I'll
I'm
grab
just
Kevin's
like a
mic if I
fucking
need
idiot. I'm going to start cussing in the air.
Well, that's what the dump button's for.
Filing for divorce when this is going. I don't even know what to say. You're going to make me cry.
Welcome to the show. Say, what's up?
Suzanne asked you a question, don't anybody answer. Yeah, get the cricket noises ready, Dragon.
You going up to the mountains?
Not this week. Got to do back-to-back next week. Yeah, that's after she starts talking. So just but because we got my stepson's graduating here in 2 weeks, so I've got to go.
Everybody is.
Yeah. So I got to go get the house ready because we're gonna have plenty of people. Get it ready the week before, and then go up there again for this freaking graduation.
We went out to Perry's last Saturday with some friends, and there was prom kids there. I was shocked at it that early. All dressed up in suits and shit.
Prom? Wow.
Well, I mean, I don't know what else it would have been.
There had to be prom.
There was quite a few of them.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm back.
18-year-olds get dressed up like that.
I'm back, Drag.
Thank you.
Did you catch that, Suzanne?
What?
Tom's back.
Where's a beer?
Tom's back.
Tom?
Tom's back.
Oh, he is?
You should still not talk because we're going to have Suze do the whole show from here on.
I'm not lying. Is he really back? Thank God.
Where's Mark?
What do they say? Fake it till you make
Oh, he was going to make Suzanne bring in the show.
Yeah, Mark's there. He's just, it's the Suze show.
Because I do have to leave.
I mean, he's over in the corner scratching himself.
Tried to put a cone on him, but he's damn near flexible. All that yoga.
Had a rib removed.
Yeah, we were going to go up to somewhere this weekend. We just didn't do it.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna.
Still for fun. Once you come back, say, hey, Suze, you need to take this.
Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
All right, I'm Tom Martino. Okay, Suze, take it away.
Well, welcome to the Troubleshooter Show. It's Car Day Friday Car Day. We've got Jeff Vick with Kimmer Transmission.
Hey, she's
in
got
studio.
it, man. Mark, what are you thinking? You thinking she couldn't? Mark says, oh, let her do it. Yeah, she can do it.
No, I'm telling you right now.
I like her voice way better.
I keep telling her she's got to learn to do it. So today I finally said you're doing it.
So
But
we have
you
bench
showed
strength.
back up.
So we have bench strength.
That's right.
Goodness. Kevin
Cool.
Culkin with Sheridan Auto Techs in the house, and Tom with Advanced Transmission Center is here as well.
Right. Well, Jeff Vick, what's he? Chop meat?
You
Chop
weren't
liver?
listening. I already introduced Jeff.
Okay.
So
I just
listen.
want to ask you guys, what kind of warranties do you guys offer in your shop?
Hey, that's a good point, by the way, on repairs. That's a great one. Go ahead.
Yeah, we offer the Napa Gold warranties, 3 years, $36,000 nationwide.
So what does that mean, Kevin? This is Sheridan Auto Tech. What exactly does that mean, really?
If you're driving on a trip and say we put an alternator in your car and a month later you're in Florida, Napa will find a repair facility in Florida, take care of the labor, the parts, and everything for you. Complete nationwide.
And
road
so
hazard, everything.
Are all the okay? So it has to be a Napa shop, obviously. How are they? Are they pretty good at taking care of stuff?
Yeah, they're awesome. Because we'll do warranties too for other folks traveling here, from their home base. So yeah, they just step up. It's a great warranty.
Well, that's awesome, especially if you're going on a road trip or something, and you've got that rest
If you're any more than 50 miles away, they will cover the parts and labor, everything, no charge to the customer.
What about you, Tom, with Advanced Transmission Center? What kind of warranties do you offer?
Sure, it depends on the work. And so there's some things that could be a year warranty, manuals, transmissions, for example, but some of our automatics, we can offer a warranty up to 5 years, depending on the circumstance.
Wow, 5 years, that's a long time.
So anyway, what about what stuff is not guaranteed? Let's talk about that.
A great one is used transmissions. And
Okay.
when situations where we can't find a better solution and we just have to do that, then, you know, the warranty might be 90 days or 6 months, and we like to stay away from those situations because we want to serve customers and give them good warranties.
All right, now, let's talk about anything you want. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. But here's what I want to ask you. Susan, I'm going to ask you this. What do you think? Okay, pick the state, not the town. We'll get to the city. But what state would you say has the highest number of house poor people per capita? House poor, meaning they spend so much on housing, they hardly have anything else. Now, this is per capita and per income, meaning, I know you're going to say California because they have outrageous costs, yes, but they're not.
I was thinking New York.
Florida.
Oh, wow. Okay.
When you take they have relatively low income, but really high housing. And in Florida, the very worst city, believe it or not, is Hialeah. And for those who don't know Hialeah, it's a bit north of Miami. And I think it's south of Hollywood and Fort Lauderdale for sure. So Hialeah, very expensive. And that is...
Isn't that where it's all white houses?
I don't know that. Hialeah?
I'm almost positive it is, like legitimately.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now Los Angeles is number 2 for house poor people, even though the median income is about twice that of Florida. However, they still have outrageous house. And then, Suze, New York is number 2. New York, New York. And then Miami is number 4. So I'm Hialeah, Los Angeles, New York, and then Miami. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the deal. Florida has a lot of them in the top 10, including Hollywood, Florida. Then we have Hawaii's number 6. Then we have California, Palmdale, back and forth. California cities and Florida cities. They seem to be the worst. I really thought Massachusetts would be up there because they have outrageously expensive houses in the Boston area, but not so. Number 12 on the list. But California has the most places on the top 30 for house poor people. House poor people. And believe it or not, New Orleans is in the top 30, but that's the only place in Louisiana where people are house poor. And one of those reasons is because of the income being lower. And Texas only has one city in the top 30 for house poor people, and that's Laredo, Texas. New Jersey has one spot, number 24, Jersey City. But California and Florida occupy the most spots for house poor people. You know, I would have thought Denver would have been on there. Because really, Denver has piss-poor wages. Can I say piss-poor? Yeah. Anyway, they have terrible wages, and they also have very expensive houses. But believe it or not, it's not as bad. I find it surprising. Anybody else find it surprising?
I was surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
I bet it's gaining on the list anyway. It's coming up.
What's that?
I bet it's coming up on the list. It's got to be.
No, well, it's not on the top 30. I didn't look beyond that, but it's not on the top 30 for house poor. I'm looking beyond that. Let's see.
To Kevin's point, I bet it's going to increase because there's so much investor money coming in and buying homes, and so you have an increased percentage of renters in the city.
What do you think the number 1 bargain place is for a home? What state first? Mark and Suzanne, come on.
Oh, no.
Louisiana?
No, right next door, Alabama.
Oh.
Alabama. Yeah.
Huntsville, Alabama, the best deal. North Carolina. Holy crap. Cary, North Carolina used to be the most. expensive place in that Raleigh-Durham area. I had a home and carry. It was beautiful. And now it's considered a deal. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, well, of course, nobody wants to live there. Raleigh, North Carolina, Fort Wayne, Indiana. These are deals. As I go down the list, they get less of a deal, but they're the top 30 deals. Is Denver in here? Let's see if Denver hits the list for the best deals on homes. No, it doesn't. So it doesn't make the top 30 or the bottom 30 when it comes to deals, or the worst deals or the best deals. It doesn't. It's kind of right in the middle there. I don't know where. I didn't look it up yet. But anyway, that's real estate. Real estate. Jeff, you have a roofing question. What's going on, Jeff?
Hold on. All right. Yeah, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Go ahead. Here, let me pull ahead. Okay. Okay, let me. Yeah, hey, Tom, you was talking about a company last couple days about how they spray something on your roof.
Right.
And it waterproofs it. I was looking for that, and I can't find.
Okay, listen. I'm not. You understand? I'm not advocating this, right?
Right.
Okay. Here's what it is. They call it roof rejuvenation because they say it restores flexibility, waterproofing, and the granules. Okay? And they say that it is better than a new roof. It does not repair damage, including hail damage. I got to make that clear. The rejuvenation, it says flexibility, water-repelling protection, and granules, and it's called, and they say they have deep, well, I don't even know about the granules. I think it secures the granules, and it has deep penetrating power. That's what they say. It's called Roof Max, M-A-X-X. Look it up online.
Roof Max.
M-A-X-X.
M-A-X-X. Okay.
Now, why are you asking, Jeff?
Because I was going to do it. I was wanting them to do it.
You know, Jeff, you sound exactly like Rob. We have a guy, or Bob, on LEM Landscaping. You sound exactly like him.
It is similar, Tom.
Are you trying to disguise your voice? Because I'm an expert at voices.
No, sir. I'm Jeff.
Wow. Are you his brother?
Talking about that? No, I have no idea who Rob is.
My God, you sound exactly... Okay, good. You think so too, right, Suze?
Yeah, he does sound like him, but I don't think he sounds exactly like him. Okay,
now, Mike has a... Thank you, Jeff, for calling that. Like I said, I don't know anything about that product. I just read about it. Now, Mike has a question about emissions for our car people. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Tom. I was wondering how much before you get your tags can you get your car inspected? Like mine used to do in March. I can't get the car hot enough in most Marches, you know. Can I do it this summer?
You can do it early.
I think those certificates are good for 6 months.
No, I mean,
the exact same
no. Are you talking about a certificate, Mike, or are you talking about just getting it renewed?
No, just renewing my emissions. See, this
you don't have to wait to the end. You don't have to wait to the end, Mike. You can get it. Waiting to the end is something most people do, but you don't have to.
So I can get it this summer? What's
yes.
the deadline? How many? What is it, a year or what?
No, nobody cares, Mike. Let me make sure I get this straight. Let's say let's just make a year easy. Let's say your emission sticker runs out at the end of December, right? You can go in June or July or August or September and get a test done. Nobody's going to prevent you from testing early.
Even though my tags are due next year.
There's definitely a time limit, or else you could get a test now for your vehicle in 10 years.
Mark, that's not what I'm talking about. Listen carefully. It's still only going to be the length of time it's good for, but you can have it done early if you want.
Yeah, it's probably like 6 months like the guys are saying, though.
Okay, first of all, is the sticker, to begin with, on his model car, how long is your sticker? A year, 2, 3? How long is it?
Well, it's only a year. It'll be due in March.
Every year it's due, right?
I got to get it inspected.
Okay.
It'll be due in March.
Hey, why wouldn't you just drive by one of the 800?
But here's what I'm getting at, and I don't know why people can't get this. This is easy. If you're due in December and you have it done in March, It doesn't extend it. You still then have to get it done the following March. That's what I'm getting at. Once you go early, you have a new cycle.
No, but it can expire, the emissions test. It definitely can expire.
What do you mean?
90 days. You have to have it done 90 days.
I don't understand what you're saying. Help me understand what you're saying.
The
What do you mean?
emissions test has to be done within 90 days of renewing your plates.
I'm not, okay, that is what you're talking, okay, you're talking about renewing the plate, okay, got it. I thought he was talking about just the test itself, just the test.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. How soon before my place?
Okay, now I know why. I know why those guys are saying this, because I wasn't tying it to renewal. You're right. It has to be, obviously, you're right. Absolutely, I misunderstood. It has to be within a reasonable time, and I don't know that time. Jeff, did you?
Or else you could go buy a vehicle,
you're
get
right.
10 tests done, and never worry about it.
No, you're
again.
right. You're right. Let me ask you something though, Jeff. Do you know for sure? Is it or Kevin?
Yeah, online it's saying 90 days within the renewal.
Okay, so if you have it done now, if you renew within 90 days, it will be okay.
Yes, he says he's due in March, so he can't do it until 90 days prior to March.
I got it. Okay, I'm sorry I misunderstood you, man. JR has hold on. JR has a comment on stolen cars. I'm anxious to hear what that is. Go ahead, JR. What is it?
We always hear about these Hondas and Kias getting stolen. Well, there's other cars that are getting stolen also.
Right.
There's a new way they're doing it, and I'm wondering if your car guys have heard of the CAN injector.
All right, hold on. I got to take a break. I'd like to talk about it, JR. It sounds interesting. Hold on. We got more coming up.
Final deadline of the Children's Hospital Colorado Mighty Millions raffle is midnight tonight. One lucky winner will get the keys to the $3 million grand prize show home, and it could be you. Built by J-Con Custom Homes, this 6,600 square foot home in Morrison is awarded fully furnished with over $900,000 in bonus cash. There's over 7,600 prizes with 1 in 20 odds of winning. Last chance.
10 seconds, Tom.
Okay.
Tonight. Buy now at MightyMillionsRaffle.com.
So I did some checking with Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, because I am looking at an annuity and other things for retirement planning. And we did some math on what would happen if I took the same amount of money, a bunch of money, and just made a good return in the market, and then drew it down as compared to an annuity. And in my case, it came out to be 10 to 13 years I could draw down, but then I'd have nothing. Whereas after that, with an annuity, I'd keep having the income. And that's based on the same exact income on the same exact amount of money. And Mark had asked that question, what is the benefit of an annuity? And I don't want to talk about just annuity. There's so much more to do with retirement, like medical stuff, insurance stuff, even mortgage stuff, estate stuff. And Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies does a great job at coordinating everything for you. And their fees are minor compared to the money they save you. You can get a free evaluation. They are sponsors of the show. I want to make that clear. But that's not the reason I use them. I'm using them because I found them. rpcenter.com, 970-663-3211, 970-663-3211. Now let's talk about O'Brien Legal Services. Earlier in the show, we had a question about snake infestation in the walls coming out by the hundreds and dozens. This story's been all over. So, should they have disclosed that, the sellers? Absolutely. And O'Brien Legal Services, we called to get information on this. Anything to do with real estate, including non-disclosure or complicated leases, finance agreements, whatever you need, O'Brien Legal Services can provide good counsel. If you think real estate, think olslaw.com. O'Brien Legal Services, 720-370-7388. Looking for countertops is easy. Call theartofgranite.com and get your price right now. Whether it's granite or quartz, quartzite, marble, any stone, any engineered stone, any solid surface, they sell it to you at wholesale. They then tear out and haul away free, and they do the bathroom free when you do the kitchen. They charge for fabrication and installation and will happily give you a price right now. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919. How much time do I have?
3 minutes.
All right, be right back.
Did you hear that snake infestation call? Lady had dozens and dozens. Tom was saying his mountain home last summer was infested with bats. And did you know you can't remediate that until a certain time of year?
So we just lived with them for about a month and a half. They were on the outside.
We had a friend that had a bat in his
Just telling them that. Like they'd be
That's
asleep and
crazy.
they'd go.
Make good fertilizer.
I'd
It
rather.
actually goes for big money.
It does.
You could sell those over in China and sell them in the web market. Yeah, the snakes sound horrible. I don't know how you get rid of snakes, man.
I don't think you do. I think there's like there's an attractant. They come every year. It's almost like Jeff said, it's an orgy. They send out invitations and everybody shows up.
Yeah, I wonder how they know. It must be a scent.
There's something there, yeah.
Mm.
'Cause they smell. If you get in there, there's a lot of them. It's nasty.
I've seen that before. In upstate New York, in back of my grandparents' house, there was like 30, 40 snakes in a ball one time.
There was a house in Kansas. They had thousands of them. It was known as the snake house.
Oh my God.
Every year they would show up at this house.
Talk about decreasing the property value of the neighboring houses.
Well, now everybody knows.
You imagine waking up in that house, your buddies knock you out, and you wake up in the fucking snake.
You lost your fantasy football league, and that's your punishment.
I love some of those punishments. Those are great. I just keep telling myself I'm never going to do fantasy again. I keep getting sucked in.
I've never done one.
What is it called?
Fantasy football.
See, if you get in certain leagues, the punishment for finishing last is like wearing a diaper.
Oh
or
my
something
God,
and
that's
having to
so
walk downtown with a sign that says "I'm last" or something, or yeah.
We had
Did you
Stu.
lose?
No, I did not. We had we have a family league and very alpha competitors, and we ended up having the loser come to the Christmas family party in a woman's dress. And,
That's
and it's all family.
It's all fun.
But
It's all, yeah.
it's all fun and games.
Until the cameras come out.
That's right.
Oh, and there's definitely cameras.
Next thing you know, now you're doing advertisements for Bud Light.
Did you see how much that hurt their
Oh, it just killed them, man.
They,
That's no small number.
This dude showed a video yesterday on it was in Fenway Park, and the place was packed, and there's beer lines in both sides that are probably 40, 50 deep.
15 seconds.
100%.
15.
From the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station, 630 K-How.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK. All right, so JR has a comment on stolen cars. Go ahead, JR. What do you have to say about it?
Okay, so what I was saying is there's a new device to steal cars, and what they do is they take the headlight bezel off of vehicles to access the wiring, and they connect a thing called a CAN injector that connects to the controller area network, and they could literally start your car and drive away without a key, without breaking into the car.
Hold on, and they do. It's called a CAN injector, and they do it through the headlight.
Yeah, behind the headlight is where all the wires run to the computer, to the car. On most cars.
Now, did you see this on YouTube or something?
Well, it started out in the next door. Two people had complained that somebody stole their headlight bezel. That was it. And a guy came on there and said that what they're doing is they're trying to steal your car.
I'm reading about it right now. It's incredible.
Yeah, and it, as soon as it plugs in, it becomes the key fob for the car.
It's called headlight hacking is another name for it.
Yeah. So, or CAN injector is the part that I read, but it connects directly to the computer, and it's any car. So if anybody
What
out there
they say is the headlight module behind the headlights, the headlight module, they say, gets you access to the ECU, and with the right software, you can do anything to the car. Have you guys heard? Has anyone heard of this before?
Well, yeah, because the headlight module is not secure. Other ones are VIN specific, so you have to program. The headlight module's not. And the CAN is it's a name for what they call a bus system. It's the communication system where all the modules tie together and communicate.
Right, this is crazy. So all somebody has to do is walk up to your headlight, pop it out, and steal your car?
You got to know what you're doing, and you have to have a scanner and a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, it's the way in. Yes.
They are selling a scanner right now that'll plug right in and do it.
Where do you get the scanner?
Do anything. You just got to plug it in.
Where do you get them?
It's not as easy as they're making it sound. You still need to know what you're doing, but it is a security breach in the system. Yes.
And it's not all vehicles that are exposed to this.
Not all vehicles?
No, specifically when you think about very modern late model vehicles where in the headlight system itself you have chips and self-leveling and steering wheel adjustable features. Those are the type of systems where the wiring for the headlight now needs to be able to communicate with the internal vehicle computer system. So it's not that all vehicles are exposed to this, and it's not that software updates by manufacturers can't update for it, but it is a weakness that's been identified in recent months, and certainly it takes a higher level of sophisticated thief to be able to access this breach.
Wow. This is incredible.
Like I said, just a warning to people, if you're missing a headlight bezel, they're probably still in your car, or and they will come back and do it again.
Thank you, man. Ray, you want to talk about a catalytic converter? Go ahead.
You know, guys, I want to thank the Polis administration for making it nearly impossible for me to keep my car on the road. I've got an 06 TL Acura.
Yeah.
6-speed. I've dumped a ton of money into the car because I love the car. It's a 6-speed. They didn't make many. It's just a wonderful car. But then I find out that my cats are clogged. Okay, so it has 2 manifold cats on the engine and 1 downstream, and I have not gotten a quote anywhere under $5,000 just to replace the cats.
And why do you hold on? And why do you blame Polis?
Because he's the one that set up the whole California CARB.
That was John Hickenlooper. That was one of the things he did just before he exited. It was not Polis. As much as I don't like Polis, you can't blame it on him.
Oh, my bad. I stand corrected. Okay. Because the law just took into effect this year. So
Incorrect. It was last year.
You should just make the drive to Wyoming. It's a lot cheaper up there.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. My daughter lives in Wyoming. I'm going to ship the car up to her next month, get it fixed. I don't have a problem with being compliant. I'll get some good quality cats put on there, and she's got a nice new car now.
Man. But thanks for your comments. But yes, I'm not sure, but I'm going by what our people are saying. It was not Polis, but Hickenlooper. Let's talk about this, Greg, on a diesel truck noise that a guy called earlier about. You have a comment on it. Go ahead, Greg.
No, it's my truck, actually.
Oh, you're the one that called before? No, I thought you were commenting on someone who called before. Go ahead, Greg, because we had somebody call about a whining noise. Go ahead, Greg.
No, yeah, this is what I've taken this to different people. As soon as I start my truck up, it'll start, go back to idle, and then it goes like a I don't know, just a and then it's done.
Wow.
Doesn't do it the rest of the day. Only does it when it's warm outside, and Nobody's been able to figure it out. It's been doing it for almost a year.
Yeah, but what does it do as far as drivability?
Oh, it drives fine. Nothing's wrong.
And how often and when does it make the noise?
Oh, probably 4 times a week when it's warm out. The last week when it was so nice out, it did it every day.
How long does it last, the noise?
Oh, a second.
And how many times in a day would it happen? When it's cold, when it's warm, intermittently, when?
It only does it the very first time in the morning, and it's good the rest of the day. Doesn't matter how cold it is, it doesn't do it again.
What does that mean, guys?
You have to experience it to figure that one out.
Yeah, that's a tough one. What kind of truck is it?
Diesel.
Dodge.
Dodge Ram 2500 to 2008.
Yeah, but you just have to experience it and have to be able to,
Greg, make that sound again, like as close as you can. Okay, guys, does it sound like a rattle to you?
I don't know what it sounds like.
I'm drawing a total blank. Yeah, I got nothing.
I mean,
everybody's drawing a total blank, but I'm just concerned about it, and it's gonna something's gonna fall apart at some point.
Well, then you'll know what it was.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I live out in Kiowa, so there's.
Hey,
no
Greg,
really
what are the chances you drive by a place and let them listen to it? I mean, have they done that?
It doesn't do it after I've driven. Once it starts in the morning.
Let's the starters hang it up for just a second. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of to do first thing.
Why don't you use your phone to record a little sound bite of it?
Because you can't. It never comes across right.
Yeah.
I've actually tried to do that. You can barely hear it, and I've had have mechanics listen to it, and they have no idea.
I wish there were people that were car psychics. That's one area that we need on the referral list. A car psychic. You put your hand on the car, and any vibration or noise, they tell you what it is. Gosh, there are so many weird things with cars. You know, Greg, it would be fun to get on. Well, no, it wouldn't come over the cell phone either properly if somebody was on the phone with you, probably, right? Like if you go out there to start it with somebody on the phone with your speaker, you guys don't think you'd be able to hear it right, would you?
No, it's definitely going to be distorted.
Loud anyway.
You know what you have to do? What year is this? An 8? Is that too late? Is that too old to pull codes, or are any codes being triggered?
No check engine light or anything, Greg?
What about the computer? Would it have codes in it?
Only if the light's on.
Typically, noises don't prompt codes, no.
Okay. Don't they have stuff you can put and record?
Break, buddy.
Record stuff? You know what I mean? Not sound, but record.
They make things like a chassis ear, that you can hook up on miscellaneous parts of the vehicle and drive down the road and switch over to individual signals to isolate. But that's typically for a rattle or a whine or something where you're looking for something.
We're drawing a blank. If anyone else is experiencing this or heard it, give us a call. 303-713-8255.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Leland Conway at 2, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Tudor Dixon Podcast.
A hectic day of driving throughout the Denver metro, and the hits just keep on coming for the 1 o'clock hour. I-25 northbound into downtown. We're still seeing speeds in the 20s and 30s between University and Colfax. East of downtown, I-70 westbound road construction continues at Brighton Boulevard with stop-and-go traffic back from Dahlia and Monaco. About 5 minutes of delayed driving towards the downtown area. Further east, I-225 northbound before I-70, a crash in the right lane with stop-and-go from Alameda. About 10 minutes of delays. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies out there, highs in the mid-70s, overnight low of 41 degrees. Tomorrow, high of 71, partly cloudy again. The current temperature is 75 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Coming up on the next episode of the Tudor Dixon Podcast, Kyle Olson.
All right, you're up next, Tom.
The madness at Michigan State University. Banned words? Are our kids too sensitive? Be sure to catch new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You know, selling houses is a popular topic here on the show. And if you want to sell your house, of course, you can list it and sell it conventionally. But what if you need to get out of Dodge quickly? Let's say you have deferred maintenance. You just don't want to mess with it. You don't want inspections, loan approvals, none of that. You can sell your house another way. Homevestors, they've been buying up thousands of homes in the Denver metro area. They can buy yours. Now, I'm not telling you you're going to get the best price in the world, but I will tell you this. Some people have found it so intriguing and so attractive, they've done it. So why don't you find out what you're missing? You have no obligation. Just call. They'll give you a price. On the phone, 800-44-BUYER. It's that simple. Homevestors, 800-44-BUYER. Now let's talk about Century RV. You know, I love talking about Century RV because I love RVs and I love the selection they have at Century. You might just want a pop-up camper. Maybe you want a tent pop-up, you know, or you want a bumper pull. Let's say you want a fifth wheel. The new fifth wheels that are made like a motorhome, all on one level with storage underneath, and it pulls up to your pickup truck, and the living quarters are all on that truck level. It's beautiful. You have to see it to believe it. I think River Ranch is the name of one of them, and Century RV has them all. 303-453-1111. 453-1111, exit 240 and I-25, CenturyRV.com.
Until it does.
Time?
4.
Okay.
What's he doing now that he's not doing the...
I think they've been refinishing their basement, all kinds of stuff like that.
Joe Biden, the Inflation Reduction Act.
Keeps my IRA from inflating.
Well, I can't believe how many things he's done.
How can they just keep lying about
That's
it?
significant.
You know?
He's lowered inflation.
Well, he's lowered immigration by 90%.
Immigration's gone down.
Yep.
China's happier.
No more cancer.
No, zero.
Yeah.
I mean, at least not in liberal states.
He's bragging about the jobs report, but everybody had to get a job and get off retirement. Can't afford
How to
it.
get a second job.
How to get, you know.
I count as 2 workers.
We were talking about that mechanic staying on unemployment. You know, that everybody and their mother's trying to hire one.
Was that a call today?
No. The last 2 guys I flew out of there still collecting.
Oh.
I get the quarterly reports from
I had a guy, he hurt himself, well, I don't even know if hurt himself, but somehow he hurt his foot, but he had a club foot to begin with, so fuck me. So then I said, okay, well, I'll put you in our call center, and all you have to do is answer a phone. So he's there for 2 days. He gets up to get a drink of water from the water fountain and falls down. And then I
would have been cheaper to
my
pay him the first time.
My attorney said, just send him, just fucking put him on unemployment. I mean, quit fucking with this guy. He's gonna beat you every time. Or put him on a workman's comp. Quit fucking around. I had another guy years ago. He lowered a lift, and the lift came down. One of the tires came down on his foot. Okay, didn't do anything to his foot, but he went into Hercules mode and threw the fuck out of his back trying to fix the car.
I'm gonna lift the car off my foot.
It was legit as fuck, but I'm going, God.
He ended up
It's like, dude, I want you to go across the street and get a drug test right now.
He ended up fucking highly addicted to back pain and joints and stuff. He never. That was the last job he ever had, wasn't it?
Drank himself
Literally.
to death, literally.
Then he became a full-blown alcoholic.
Well, he was already an alcoholic. Let's not sugarcoat that.
Normal alcoholic level, though.
Yeah,
Well,
normal, right.
But then you throw in all these.
Oh, yeah. Now it's a cocktail.
Fucking guy. It was all on video, too, man. It comes down on his foot. He's like this. He's like yelling for someone to come over and lift it. He put something in it so the car would keep coming down by itself. So he rigged the lift to come down without holding it. And just the tire goes down. He goes like, ah! And next thing you know, his face. I'm like, Larry. pick up that van, man.
Oh, it's like when, something's on a jack and it starts coming down. Get out of the way.
Yeah, don't
let
grab
it
it.
hit the ground. Don't try to catch it. But invariably they do.
Over the years, though, I think of hundreds and hundreds of employees. I mean, really, on workman's comp for any long period of time is only those two. And they maxed out wherever it was. They ended up getting a settlement, which is next to nothing.
All right, 15 seconds, guys.
Dealing with the new case right now.
Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Hey, it's Dan. Join me today at 4. We'll dive into the latest craziness from D.C. and from the loony left right here in Colorado, and we'll have a lot of fun doing it. Join me at 4.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We have another comment on concealed carry permit insurance for liability when you're carrying a gun. Mike, go ahead. What's your comment?
Tom, I think George kind of scratched the surface on that. There are companies out there that do not pay claims like a homeowner's insurance would. It's a legal defense insurance. So what happens is you pay, monthly or annual invoice, and then if you ever use a weapon, not just a firearm, you have a hotline to call, and a lawyer picks up, and they will defend you not only during the criminal phase of a trial, but also in a civil action if it comes to that.
Now, let's say they defend you, and there's a settlement or there's a verdict. Do they pay it?
They do not.
That depends on the policy. Some of them do have portions in there that give you coverage for liability.
That's pretty important. That's a
most
pretty
of them-
important. Go ahead.
Well,
Mike?
most of them take care of your legal bills is the best way I can put it. They said that if we don't have the insurance and we were to call this hotline, that when the lawyer answers, they're going to ask for a $50,000 retainer to defend you.
It could be, by the way. It could be that much, especially if a death is involved.
Oh, easily.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks. Listen, we have to move on, though. Angelo, what's going on? What is the Action Center? You have a problem. I don't know what the Action Center is.
Okay, the Action... Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so the Action Center is a place in Jefferson County you go for assistance, for help. You know what I mean? If you hit rock bottom, they'll help you out, rental assistance, etc.
Okay, got it. I get it. When you're experiencing homelessness or hardships that might lead to it. Yes, go ahead. What's the problem?
So I'm a single father and everything. Like I just did a change of careers. I went from construction worker to gonna be a life. I just passed my state exam to be a life insurance agent. Okay, so I did a whole turnaround. I passed the test. I enrolled back in school. And so they were helping me with assistance for housing or whatever, you know what I mean? I'm just finally getting there. And the lady's like, "Hey, you said you were looking for a car because my transmission just went out." If bad luck was was anything
Angelo, so are you calling about the Action Center or are you calling about a car?
I'm calling about the Action Center. I'm just getting to the point of it.
Yeah,
so
that's
they
what I'm
offered me a
hoping
car.
you do.
Yeah, they said "Hey, do you want this car?" We just got this car in. I was like, I have my little daughter with me.
Were they going to donate it to you, Angelo?
Yes. Okay, so check this out. And this is Monday. I'm like, are you guys serious? Because they got it.
Angelo, listen, what you're doing is you're telling us each step of the way. You're talking about your dialogue and all that. I need to take a break. You got to tell us what the problem is, and we'd be happy to look at it. Hold on. We got more coming right up. Does anyone know what the problem is?
This report.
No, he's going to tell you his life story first, though.
Hectic driving continues throughout the Denver Metro for that Friday 1 o'clock hour. I-25 northbound, we're still seeing speeds in the 30s and 40s between University and Colfax. Heading east to DIA, I-70 eastbound at Pena Boulevard, a crash off on the right shoulder with stop and go back from I-225 Just south of there, I-225 northbound, a crash in the right lane with stop and go back from Alameda. About 2 or 3 minutes of delayed driving through that scene. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies today, highs in the mid-70s, overnight low of 41 degrees. We're seeing a trend throughout the rest of the week of cloudy skies with highs in the 70s. The current temperature in Denver is 75 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Coming up on the next episode of the Tudor Dixon podcast.
All right, you're coming up next, Tom.
And to create a book publishing company that encourages children to place God, country, and family ahead of themselves. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Now, all three of these commercials have to do with saving money and having great companies behind it. Garage Kings will do your garage floors, your walkways, your patio, pool decks, and more. With the polyaspartic coating, listen to this. Never any money down, the guaranteed lowest price, guaranteed for life. You don't do better than GarageKings.com. Get the coatings now while the weather is good, 720-252-0370. That's GarageKings.com. Now, Euro Plumbing will do the best and cheapest water heaters around. All you have to do is call them. That's right, you want a water heater, you won't pay less. Not with anyone else but EuroPlumbing.net. That's a 40-gallon water tank, fully installed, hot water tank. The old one taken out, new supply lines for the water, flex line for the gas, and guess what? It's just $12.99, $13.99 for a 50-gallon, and no matter what size you get, they guarantee the lowest price. 303-668-6844, 668-6844. Okay. Window coverings. Now, I'm not going to tell you it's the lowest price, but I'll tell you this. It takes all the hassle out. You can hardly do it for yourself for that price. And if you hire a handyman, they're not responsible for the measurements. These guys come out and measure and estimate for free. They even have a design consultant to help you pick the right stuff for your fashion and design. And then they have an in-house install team that guarantees the installation to the penny. And you also have the top brands to deal with. Made in the Shade. Look for them at referralist.com. I'm telling you, they're such a complete, wonderful service. 720-458-6566. Made in the Shade.
Get paid $100 by calling the tow guy to pick it up.
Guy, I don't have to sign crap.
I used to get $500 for.
Depending on the car. We're just being sarcastic. I don't know. Yeah. Depends on the crusher price where they're at. It hasn't been very good here of late. That and diesel, you know.
I had a tow truck driver, he'd go get anything for me. I had a bad check, I'd have that car back in fucking a day.
Gosh almighty.
He was the guy that picked up that one for us and brought it over to your place to cut off
JJ.
Cut the boot off?
Allegedly. JJ.
Allegedly.
But that's what I love about him. He doesn't even ask. I just point to a car.
Well, I
There's
love,
a boot on it.
I love this video, too. They're doing this live video thing, and Mark's going, we're taking it to an undisclosed location, and Tom's going, and Kimmer Transmission's going to do this.
Here we are at the
undisclosed location. That's right, Jeff Vick from Kimmer Transmission.
Service special on Tuesdays. Yeah. They were so pissed.
I cut it the long way because Tom wanted a lot of sparks, so I cut it the long way down the link just to keep it going for as long as I could. But that chain was so cheap, you probably could have bit it in half.
Just little clippers. Yeah, that was funny as shit. What a racket that dude came up with.
Yeah.
He's still at it.
Coronation.
I think there's more than one company doing it now, too.
Probably.
That one is park it right.
Although with the new tow laws, it's completely changed shit for him. He emailed us probably 5 times saying,
He's going to sue you.
Oh, man, we're going to have very little time to finish up with this guy.
The Park It Right guy or whatever.
Hey,
Park It Right
Kelly.
guy. What was his name? He had a name that Tom would make fun of.
Kelly?
Yeah, I have his number.
Tell him we'll get him on first thing Monday with an attorney or something. I don't even know what the problem is.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get to. I'm not really sure myself.
Okay, because I have no idea what it is. Did they promise him
Angelo?
Did they
Can I call you back on Monday at 10 a.m.?
The best point someone made. They're like, okay, so let me.
You have about 3 minutes coming back.
Okay, ask him if it has to do with them offering a car and then changing.
I understand. We're just
now they can't move
right.
it, and I still can't use my parking space.
Ask him what the issue is.
It is.
Bottom line, one sentence. What's the issue?
It doesn't really
Okay,
solve
so basically they're trying to charge you for the car now?
Okay.
If they don't have fucking money to get the boot off, their car's stuck in my parking space.
Doesn't have the tow truck, can't even
They put a little note on
That's what a buddy of mine's got. A buddy of mine's got a place over in Castle Rock, and he's got 2 spaces that he bought, and people keep pulling into it. And he's marked them. There's signs up. These belong to so and so. So
okay,
he puts cones up. They'll come and move the cones out of the way. So he just bought 4 of those, wheel lifts. He lifted up on each individual wheel. He's been pushing them blocks away. He'll get them out of the parking lot. He hooks up to it with a truck and just takes them blocks away. He'll leave it inside of like a no parking zone, so it gets towed.
Free, would be donated. Okay.
20 seconds there, Tom.
Stop by a store or go to GUIRYS.com to sign up today.
Okay, we got about 3, so I mean, yeah.
$19.99.
Afternoons 2 to 4. It's Leland Conway.
Make sure to tune in for Twisted View at 3:05. Marty Lentz and Benjamin Albright from KOA 630 KHOW, Denver's talk station.
Hi, Tom Martino. Listen, Angelo's saying that the Action Center offered him a car. Kachina's talking to him off the air. So they offered him a car, and he thought it was going to be donated to him, and it turns out he has to pay for it. And is that the bottom line? I find that hard to believe, though. You took the car and they never mentioned anything about money and then said you had to pay for it? Is that what it is, Angelo? Angelo, they promised you the car and you thought it was free.
No, I didn't. Okay, no. They, I knew I had to pay something, like $300. That was the agreement between me and the lady. And then she says, okay, well, then just we have to go through the director. They already have she assured me the other day, like, oh, yeah, they have the bill of sale for you.
What's the problem, Angelo? Not the story, the problem. What's the story, the problem? I mean,
They promised me something when I'm already down that I could have benefited from with me and my family when I'm going through hardships. And then they want to charge me now $3,500, and the car's not even worth it.
All right, how did it go from $300 to $3,500?
Because I have no idea. Because she probably felt like, like I don't deserve it or something like that. Or
did you sign anything, Angelo, agreeing to pay that?
No, because it was under the thing. They said, yeah, just have $300, and then.
Okay, Angelo, did you take the car?
No, I drove it around the block. It was just donated that morning when I had a meeting.
Okay, so you didn't get the car after all, right?
No.
Okay.
I didn't get nothing.
And you feel like they lied to you.
I feel so diminished. Like everything.
Okay, I'll tell you what, Angelo. I don't want to diminish you. I want to call them and get them on and talk about it. I want to get this done for Monday. We can't do it right now. We don't have the time. I would love to get them on to see where. I want to see where the mix-up is. Okay, and then we'll see what happened. By the way, Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission, transmissionsdenver.com, 303-693-1400. When they're not here, Kevin Calkin, SheridanAutotech.com. 303-455-7242. And Advanced Transmission Center, 303-816-3856, and that's advancedtransmission.com. Okay, folks, we're running out of time. Don't forget, you can always call 303-MARTINO 24/7. Put your name down and your number. We'll get back to you so you never have to stay on hold, and save all your problems for me.
You're clear.
Thanks, man.
Follow.
See you about it.
At Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW. KHOW.com. And on the iHeartRadio app. Leland Conway.